going on, everybody? Welcome back to the TEC High School series here for week number 3. We're starting us off on Monday with some Valorant action. My name is Llama77, joined by the wonderful Hot Sauce here in the casting booth here today. Hot Sauce, how we doing?
Oh, doing great. Valorant, one of my favorite games. So we love Mondays around here. And well, if you would have told me I would say that when I was younger, I'd say you're crazy because we don't normally like Mondays, but we love Mondays now that we have TEC Valorant. We've got 3 exciting Division 1 games today. And, we talked a little bit about it. This week is going to be Breeze. I like Breeze. Llama doesn't like Breeze, but we're going to get through this nonetheless.
We are going to get through it. Breeze for the first 2 matches, and then we've got a makeup match for the third one. So going to be very exciting. Lots of excitement. And as a reminder, this is just the start of the week, as you mentioned. We've got Rocket League, we've got Overwatch, and we've got middle school Rocket League a little bit later throughout the week. But focusing on Valorant here today, we're in the 3rd week. So we're approaching that, 1/3, almost halfway through this season. You got to start picking up some wins here if you want to, get a chance at that playoffs.
Yeah, and I do want to remind everybody who's hanging out as well, make sure you follow those socials because the top 5 plays for these last few weeks have been absolute bangers. You don't want to miss out on that. And you never know when you might see yourself on that top 5 as well. But this first game here in week 3 is going to be Bishop Guilfoyle taking on West Branch, as we talked about here on Breeze. So again, I'm excited for this one. Breeze had a lot of reworks. It's been taken out, brought back. They removed the hall. They put the hall back. They're still maybe a little indecisive here, but nonetheless, I find it to be a very fun map. We've seen Chamber kind of come back on this map. You're able to get up on top of those pyramids early, find a quick pick, get down below. Viper has been a huge staple on Breeze, I think, since the beginning of time. So expect maybe to see some of that as well.
Honestly, some spiciness too, though. I've seen some neon on this map. I'm a big fan of neon. Some speed to get yourself between those sites. Obviously, with a 2-site map, it always does favor the defenders just a little bit, but it's always up to that creativity of the offense. So we'll have to see how it does go throughout this one. Of course, it's also only a best of 1, so you don't have time to maybe try out some strategies here in this first map, go towards the second. You lose this first one, and it's going to count as a loss column.
Yeah, that's the way it goes with Valorant. Best of 1. You got, even though it's a best of 1, you do have 15 to 30 plus rounds to make it happen. But I think these students have been putting on a lot of time in that off season, and of course when they're not practicing as well. We've certainly seen a lot of improvement, especially from those returning names on these rosters. But again, I'm excited for Breeze. I like this new map pool that TEC is kind of taken on, where there's a set map each week. So we do get a little bit of change from week to week, and we get a little bit of difference there as well. And plus, I think it's a little more challenging to the students and players maybe to not always play Ascent.
It is. Yeah, I mean, you got to learn all these different maps. You got to be ready to go for whatever the game throws at you. Now, of course, 2 of these teams are going to be playing today, and it is going to be Bishop Guilfoyle and West Branch. I will have to say, coming in with a little bit different records, it is Bishop Guilfoyle coming in 1-0, West Branch 0-1. You talk about, though, West Branch did have a tougher first match, so we'll see if they're able to bounce back here in their match number 2.
Yeah, and I think Body Shot Bandit, Kiwi, and Death Nugget, at least those 3, I think, are also on the Overwatch squad as well. So we saw them putting in some work in Overwatch last week. We'll see if maybe that can kind of transfer over here. A little FPS skrills.
We'll see if the transfer is coming on through. We're in the agent select here for the Bishop Guilfoyle versus West Branch matchup. Of course, we are going to have West Branch starting on the attacking side. They've already locked in the Jet and hovering some other interesting things. I think, like you said, the Viper has been an absolute staple. Will not be surprised to see it counter locked on both sides. Sage is really nice. You can put up some nice walls. I also think Sage, just in general, with that res, has just a ton of utility in their kit.
Yeah, and the same with Cypher as well. Cypher really able to lock down a specific site and hold for that flank. On the other side of things, Wyatt on that ISO, I really like. ISO has become such a staple now. You get that basically a free shield or a free shot when you're finding those kills as well. And obviously, if you're able to win those 1v1s, that ult into that special arena there is something else as well.
All Right. Well, all agents locked on in. ISO going to be the standout pick, I feel like, for the West Branch side. On the other side, they've got some powerful tools. I think specifically the Reyna is what we're going to be looking at. The ISO versus the Reyna, because that Reyna, you know, the ISO does have that extra bullet, that extra little bit of pressure there. But Reyna, I mean, you've got the reset ability, that Empress, that ultimate. It can really change rounds. So we'll see one of those ultimates does get built up first as we're headed into the pistol round.
Yeah, you know, I think we've seen Phoenix come back a lot more just because the ult is only 5 or 6 points, you know, but Reyna, another one of those that if you are able to win those gun battles, you get that ult early, you pop that Empress and you go to town. But again, Viper's on both sides. We talked about Viper being a staple on Breeze here. So I do like the comps, not a whole lot of difference, but a little bit of difference there, mainly in those duelists. So we'll see how it works out for both of these teams.
Now let's get right on into it. Let's see how it works out starting in towards the pistol round. Now, of course, with Breeze, this middle highway, if you get control of it, if you can get to the A-holes area, you can get to pretty much any site you want to, but Hugo is going to be the first point of contact here on towards the B back of site. Getting a little bit pushed back from this cage. It looks like the offense is going to stall out for some time. They took some early shots, but do have a lot of players here. Some of those smokes being dropped by Jet. The bull is going to be figured out here. Posty, their location is going to be there, but that Sage Wall delaying for so much time.
Yeah, you know, and I'm kind of surprised that they haven't rotated yet. We may start to see that here now a little bit because really the whole team has made their way over here for Bishop Guilfoyle as well. We see Nexka pushing through elbow, looking for that extra intel. Luckily, that Viper wall did buy enough time for them to get around toward the A site. We see Sova starting to drift back that way. But again, if they hurry this push, they could have a 5v2 advantage here.
If they can overwhelm the site, they're going to go very quickly here. Their own Sage Wall to try and provide some protection. Some early shots from Posty and Co. are going to shut down one member. The spike's still yet to be planted. Now going for Slayer, trying to get it on a safe spot. But as they do, the trade comes through. It's not only one, but it's two for Bray. And now pushing forward for another from Hugh Goat. The final is taken down in a flawless pistol round start from Bishop Guilfoyle.
Yeah, you know, they're 1-0 on the season, wanted to keep that streak alive, certainly starting off nice with that pistol round. And as we often talk about, when you do win that pistol round, you're usually, you know, 80-90% of the time going to take that following round as well. We'll see if Bishop Guilfoyle can keep that momentum rolling here. But West Branch, you know, obviously a tough round ahead of them here. If they can find at least 2 picks and begin to work on that economy at a minimum, it'd still be beneficial to them.
Looks like they might actually be forcing up just a little bit, 2 SMGs and a possible Marshall going to be in the inventory, so might not have the money for the next round if they do lose this one. But sometimes we see this from teams. Like you said, if you're able to get a pick or two, if you're able to pick up that better weaponry, especially if you have that extra bit of Marshall in the hands, you can definitely do some damage. This time, though, you got to realize you have to give up a little bit more of that control. Leave these long angles for Posty and Co., as it looks like West Branch going mid.
Oh, and at mid, Nexka just standing in front of a firing squad, but somehow finding a plethora of damage and a kill onto the Booty Slayer here as well. Did find one amongst the trade, but Hugo from behind is absolutely picking them apart. Wyatt and Nexka both finding trades, and once more, they have the 2-player advantage.
Gets a triple there and a really good collapsing play. As soon as they show in that elbow area, it's just so easy when you have that advanced weaponry to just collapse when there's no pressure in towards B. So the second round as expected for Bishop Guilfoyle. However, that money is going to hurt just a little bit. Usually we see in round number 3, the team that loses 2 rounds in a row able to buy up on rifles. They only have 1 rifle and 2 full shields.
Yeah, you know, and again, kind of forcing into this round, which means if they do lose, it's going to spell more trouble for the next 2 rounds. And I think that's one thing that we've kind of seen in TEC is some of these teams kind of struggle to save and to buy together. And while that economy is equally as important, it has come back to haunt teams in the past. Hopefully West Branch can find a way to make it work out here. But with all that noise, Nexka knows they're coming. Has the Spectre. He is spraying for days. Finally gets one, but will be traded out.
So much damage already done. The ISO, the duelist is down, and look at this collapsing play. Posty has got the Marshall looking down, making sure this is covered. The first shot doesn't connect, pulls out the Ghost to get the trade, but the trades are actually there for West Branch. Somehow they have turned this round 3v2. The shot from Bree is going to connect once again. That new little ADS weaponry coming through in the Outlaw. The 2v2 though, the spike is down. Body shot, Bandit going to connect. And it's all down to Quell and Nico to try and clutch this round.
Yeah, what a crazy turn of events here. Quell now making his way up, has been spotted, has the Vandal from Death Nugget though, and somehow they do the unthinkable. West Branch turns this round around on a scrappy little buy.
That was crazy. I thought for sure they were going to get trapped up in that area. I thought for sure that Bishop Guilfoyle had this pincer attack, but it was just a little bit too slow from both sides. The shots were there, and the overwhelm over Nexica to start the round really did pay off. Now 2-1 here. Rifle is going to be bought up for all players except one on the West Branch side. And Hot Sauce, they could equalize out the start of this game right here.
Yeah, you know, it was a little bit of a rough start that they happened to turn around there in round 3. If they can keep this momentum going forward and maybe kind of fall into that play that they're used to, could certainly be very beneficial to them. The Booty Slayer looking to just press on through and kick some butt. Unfortunately, Hugo goes up onto the wall and drops him down.
Slow orb here from Body Shot Bandit, trying to slow the play down, but Hugo... Even on the Sage, I mean, already getting picks, already finding ways to find that ultimate almost up and available. But Hugo is going to be taken down, one away from that ultimate maybe for the next round. This collapse has come through from elbow and from behind. Koloniko going to take down one with another great shot, though. It's going to be the Sova for Sova trade. There's so many angles to watch, so many places to cover from, and Body Shot Bandit through the box will be able to take down one more. But you have to get two. There is one player low, and the res, it's up and available. The blind, though, from the Reyna is pushing on in. The collapse once again from this elbow. And the box play, the operator, the long-range sniper, but Body Shot Bandit is the sniper themselves. Takes out the SMG and now has a positive health trade. They could go for the res and go for the 2v1.
Oh, beautiful play. Has spotted him, and Body Shot Bandit with a triple kill. And a beautiful display. What an absolute clinic. The situational awareness, knows the Opper is close, swaps to the Spectre, uses the run and gun to their advantage, and then back. Thought about the res, but didn't have to waste it. A beautiful shot there, an elbow to clutch it up, and West Branch has battled right back into this one.
They're tied back up to 2 rounds, and they've got money now. I feel like 2 rounds in a row, they've been in a situation where Bishop Guilfoyle has them dead to rights, has them absolutely trapped in an area. They just have not been able to capitalize. It's going to be back towards pistols and eco for Bishop Guilfoyle. They're going to have to do something special and play off of close angles, most likely, here in this 5th round.
Hoping to utilize those close angles in the 5th round. We can see Body Shot Bandit and co working through elbow. A lot of noise has been made, so the audio cues are there. 3 stacked, and they got to be careful here because Bishop has got 2 coming up the mid here as well. And there's been a lot of audio footsteps from the Booty Slayer. From the right, they don't check it. The swing, and the Booty Slayer comes up with another double.
You're able to get a double, that positive weaponry scenario. Body Shot Bandit walks in front of him, takes down one more, and now it's all down towards this Sage. No ace a possibility, but Body Shot will take a double themselves. Flawless round number 5, and now 3 rounds in a row from West Branch.
Yeah, I mean, after being down 2-0 and finding themselves on the back of a scrappy bye, here they are up on top. But as we know, Valorant, a game of runs one way or the other. And right now, both of these teams battling back and forth. You love to see them so evenly matched here as well.
See a good back and forth game to start us out. We've got 6 ultimates on the board here for this next round, number 6. More importantly, that ultimate advantage swinging more towards Bishop Guilfoyle's side. The only one they do not have is the Hunter's Fury there from the Sova, but all the rest of them are up. We'll see if they can use especially that Viper ult towards the best of their ability. Denying a site on a 2-site map has to give you so much value, but already through the halls here, Slayer is going to push their way on up about halfway through now, trying to get pressure on towards this this A site. At the exact same time here, Pre is able to take one down, long range from the A site, and they have the rotation over, they have control of mid, and Slayer might not be in the greatest position with that drone coming out.
Yeah, Slayer will be spotted, but doesn't care. Feeling absolutely fearless. Able to find one. Quell will get the trade, though, through that dart. Now the Hunter's Fury coming out, pops the wall, looking for the res to bring one back. And this is going to be a key res for them here as well. Kind of nullifying that player advantage. But Pasty with a triple kill. And Pasty ain't playing down hall.
A door opens, gets a double off of it, and adds towards their other kill. Wyatt. And to get one back, the health is not looking too great, and ISO's still one away from their ultimate, and that Cypher is uploading that neural theft. They are going to know where you are, and they also know where the spike is, so this is such a tough round for Wyatt, but if you could just win the duel here, it's a good trade. 46 HP still, gonna try and throw out some utility to dissuade the Sage from pushing even further. 20 seconds, though. I don't think this round is doable. Really good here from Bishop Guilfoyle. They're just gonna play the timing.
Yeah, you know, really just slowing them down here as well. The spike all the way down there in A main. So realistically, even once spotted here, Cypher has the ability to just play time. And as we know, it takes 4 seconds to plant. So not going to be able to find this one. Has to save the Vandal here is Wyatt. And well, we'll be all tied up once more at 3-3.
Tied up once again. We did have that Cypher ultimate used towards the end of that round, but that's only one. You still have those 3 ultimates, and like we said before here, for Pre, you have this Viper's Pit. You have the ability to deny a full site. So much power inside of it. Let's see, though, going here into round number 7. Somebody is going to be leading after this one, and it is going to be some rifles and a decent buy, it seems like, from Bishop Guilfoyle. However, they do have one player on a pistol.
One player on a pistol. They've had some scrappy buys in the past, but we'll see if they can come on top with this one. Right now, all of that pressure mounting toward elbow. We see Jet kind of rotating back toward mid here, but they've got an early rotation from Bishop Guilfoyle here. Nearly every member kind of cheating toward B. So if they can maybe find a pick here, they can work off of that.
Nico, though, such a good position here in mid-nest to try and deny that pick, to try and at least hold them out of elbow. Just lots of utility being forced to start us. Nico is going to be taken down. Booty Slayer able to pop that shot. Hugo is in such a great position, though. That cage as well. There's so much reinforcement throughout this B site. It's not only the Cypher cages, but also the wall. It will be Body Shot Bandit able to take down one more. However, 4v3 pressure towards that mid. This is where you want to look for the pincer plays. Body Shot Bandit on a triple, and it's all down towards this Reyna to try and clutch. Nexka is a Reyna and does have that ability to reset, but there are 3 players walking together through the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they want to waste the Empress on this. It is a tough battle. Timing is everything. They happen to look away. Now to 30 health, 3 members pressing, and it's Death Nugget who finds the kill. But when we talk about the battle, Sage that round with a huge triple up and through mid.
I think it's huge. I mean, we talk about not only the new ultimate updates, we talk about Sage in general is not a duelist. Yeah, you have the slow orb, you could do some things with that, but to have your Sage not only already have an ultimate that they used in this half, but is almost halfway towards another, if they could get 3 Sage ultimates in the first half, that would be an absolute swing of the entire game. We'll see if Body Shot Bandit can keep up that persistence and keep up that shooting accuracy as we head here into round number 8.
Yeah, we saw that res payoff once already, and you know, I'm a fan of using that ult with the round that you get it or the following round. You always want to give yourself more opportunities here, but there are a lot of ults on deck for Bishop Guilfoyle. 4 of them to speak here as we see Quell up top at mid, looking for a little intel off of that Aldro, but it's going to be Kiwi again who finds the first pick over here, and West Branch has done a great job of finding these early picks after about that second round, and they've just continued this momentum forward.
But the collapse is coming through. They got the pick, but they have to watch behind here. It's going to be from behind that shorty to make sure they get one more. Body Shot Bandit doing their work, taking down another. And this was a relatively eco round, half by Pasty. Still does have that rifle up and available with that full shield, so maybe they can do something. Of course, Cypher always has a lot of utility, a lot of information to gain with those cameras, but it just seems like it's going to be the long con, the long play all the way through spawn, so the footsteps aren't possibly heard. However, at the same time, Hot Sauce, you are a little bit low on time if you are West Branch. Westbranch.
30 seconds left.
Low on time, just 30 seconds left, and we can see that Stampede heading toward A, but honestly playing very smart. They know the other team's on an eco. They know they have that rifle advantage as well, and they continue to utilize that here in round number 8. They will spot the Reyna, and Death Nugget is just absolutely on fire with these headshots these last couple rounds.
Lots of headshots, lots of great picks. Westbranch doing everything correct here on the attacking side of Breeze, and now everybody's going to be healthy on economy-wise here in this next round. I mean, healthy-ish. I mean, you talk about Bishop Guilfoyle, you lose this round, you're probably back to pistols, you're probably not doing so hot, but you got 4 ultimates up and available. Most importantly, you have 2 very, very big area control ultimates in that Viper's Pit, in that Hunter's Fury. Not only can you get kills with that thing, but you can zone out and delay for time. I'm excited to see the creativity here at Bishop Guilfoyle. They've actually put their Cypher on A site and are popping that Viper's Pit on B.
The Viper's Pit up on B. We talked about how they can really just kind of hold a site. It's up pretty far there, though. They can potentially work around through mid as well and kind of still make their way toward B, but we will see him kind of backing off back toward that spawn. Reyna has taken a lot of space here at mid, so Nexka in a good position. We'll hear the Stampede as well as Paste gets one and Kiwi finds a trade.
Trade there at least. However, this is going to delay for time, and you see just how much space Bishop Guilfoyle is taking. They know you're all here. They're going to drop that Viper's Pit. It's going to no longer be up, but from behind, Nexka's got a double, got to turn around. Maybe, how about a triple? Nexka looking for it all, and just the Jet trapped here in Hall. A 1v1 will not go their way. Quella Nico to end the round. Such a good collapse there, and quick decision from Bishop Guilfoyle.
Yeah, and this is kind of where I like having that Cypher over that duelist as well, because Cypher is so good at holding those flanks, and really on the attacking side here for Westbranch, they don't have any type of utility to watch that flank for them, whether it be a KJ turret, you know, some Cypher traps. So I think, you know, maybe Bishop Guilfoyle is starting to recognize this. They didn't have any issues finding those long lurking flanks as well. We saw 2 coming from behind there, Reyna at mid. So again, because of that, I think Westbranch has to just at least be a little leery of those flanks.
And I think as well, credit to Bishop Guilfoyle, they have been very, very good at using these ultimates, not overusing them. Another round where they only pop 1. Some extra pressure going through here towards elbow. 3 more of those ultimates up and available for Bishop Guilfoyle. However, we know that ISO ultimate is up and available. They can take a pick. If they know where you are, they can put yourself into the duel, and to take out like a Sage or a Cypher at the middle of a round, that timing is very crucial. But Nexka, once again, the space is taken. The double is denied. But once again, so much visual information on where those players are going.
Yeah, just great situational awareness by the crew here as we hear that ult come out. We see the rotation as well, but they got to be careful. Free is all the way down mid. He's going to find a 2-piece here, and that will spell a little bit of trouble. We'll see if Westbranch can find a way to battle back in this round, but not if Free has anything to do about it. Finding the triple. Hugo, Paste, both getting ones as well.
A good collapsing round, another good round where Bishop Guilfoyle making great decisions, and another round where they don't have to use those ultimates. It feels like Westbranch been holding on to some of these ultimates for a little bit of time. You've only got 2 rounds now left in the half, and the money situation is not looking the greatest. If you lose this one, you could possibly be in a position where you won't be able to buy in that final round. So very important for both of these 2 teams. Win this one, get yourself a positive half, and go towards the switch with a lead.
Yeah, you know, and we talked about the rosters looking a little different here between game 1 and 3, but as we were kind of informed through chat here, it looks like Bishop Guilfoyle is actually playing with 2 subs or 2 alternates here at the moment. So still playing very, very well. It's not always easy to do, but Paste lurking around here will find another 2-piece. And again, it's so hard to press into a Cypher.
Just so much pressure, so much ability, and it's especially crazy with Paste. It's just a crazy aimer as well. 3K, a beautiful another round, and a lot of back and forth to start out this one. It's kind of a defender attacker sandwich where we've got the rounds at the start. You had the pistol rounds, the 3 in a row now for Bishop Guilfoyle, but there were 6 rounds out of the 5 in the. Out of the 6 in the middle, 5 were won by the Westbranch side. So you talked about those runs. You talked about getting momentum. It seems like Bishop Guilfoyle has it back. And they're 1 away from going into the halftime with a lead.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Breeze is, a lot of these maps are defensive maps, especially the two-site maps, but because there's so much different distance from the A site to the B site, that this potentially could be an attacking map or a defending map, depending on how well you use that utility together as a team. So, Quell is going to find the first pick here on the booty, give him that player advantage as well. We see a lot of members lurking around elbow.
Again, you can see just how far the Pasti has pushed themselves up. Already into mid, already looking for a collapsing angle. If they push through this elbow, they're going to have such a problem. You see Nexka stepping out, hitting the operator shot, and now it's a 5v3. You've lost that Jet ultimate. That's not going to be available for this half. You have to use the ISO, and Nexka is going to pop that Empress. Kills are going to reset them. Hunter's Fury is going to be popped out as well, putting pressure in towards this elbow. A little bit of visual information as they pop around, popping the ISO once again. No ultimate for you either. Quell and Nico will clean on up, and Nisco's got a triple with the operator.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. I mean, it's the final round, so just use the ult anyway. At that point, unfortunately, they were unable to take advantage of that. And I mean, 7-5 half is incredibly close for halftime, though, as well. So both of these teams duking it out here head to head.
But to see the close games here, 7-5 is how it starts, but how will it end is the better question. Pistols for all here, and now more importantly, I'm excited to see this ISO and this Viper / the Sage on defense. You don't have the Cypher, but you have some good tools here. We'll have to see who wins this pistol round. Usually if you give over both the pistol rounds, it's a pretty low chance that you win the entire game.
Yeah, we kind of thought that for that scrappy round in round 3 as well. But, sometimes it's just anything goes. But you're, 9 times out of 10, you are absolutely right about that. We're looking to see here most of this pressure going toward the A site. One up through tube here in the hall and about to go head to head with ISO. Shots are ringing out. Wyatt will find one. Paste and Pre get another as well.
Great start, a couple 2 for 1, but the plant is a little bit waited on patiently now going. The spike will be going through. Pasti getting another trade as well. Wyatt dropped down to 2 with healthy health bars for Body Shot Bandit and Death Nugget. These are 2 players that are at the top of the leaderboard, but Pasti's taken down. The 2 players working together, working in unison. A 2v2 now after they take down 2, but from the high ground. We know how this worked last time. Pre able to take the first. Death Nugget down to a 4th HP, and they have to scatter on away. We'll see if they can pick up this trade. They can. It's a 1v1. Quell and Nico, 37 HP, needs to get this going. The timer is there, and there you go. The shutdown waits for him to walk on in, and Death Nugget just ran out of time, but another really close round there.
Yeah, a super, super close round there. And unfortunately, it just, they got pushed back a little too far there at mid. And it was a tough 2v1. Able to find one of the picks nonetheless, but just didn't quite check that right angle. And of course, in that right click we trust. So able to come out on top. They lead by 3. And as we talked about in those previous rounds, when you win that pistol round, you typically go on and take the second one as well.
Kind of interesting. Back-to-back times now, it seems that Westburns wants to force here in the second round. They want to try and get a little bit better weaponry, which, I mean, you aren't really that far behind on rounds. I don't feel like you need to force, but it's going quickly. It's going with these goes. Nexka trying to force out these little bit of better weaponry and take some for their own. Quell and Nico has been absolutely dastardly, taking kills left, right, and center, and now they've got a 5v2 round with the opposing 2 players split up.
Yeah, it's always hard when you gamble on these risky buys, especially when a team is playing so well together. And again, they just kind of pick them apart here. And now for that following round, again, you find yourself in some economic trouble. Yes, they pulled out a crazy scrappy round in round 3, but to do it twice in a row is going to be a tall task to ask.
They're not going to be there for them to try and pull off that task, but we'll see if they can do it just like they did last time. They're investing again. It's going to be 3 SMGs, 2 of those Marshals as well. Actually, they're thinking about going towards being an outlaw, but we'll see what the final selection is going to be. Again, 9 rounds, almost to double digits. And once again, you see the players that are getting picks here at the start of the round. It's Nexka, already 3 out of 6 on the ultimate. Pre, already 5 out of 9 on the ultimate. And Hugh Goat, already halfway towards their ultimate as well. I mean, this this is just really, really good. If they can keep up this pressure and get towards A through the halls here, Hugo taking down first. They got to be a little bit careful. Player down.
Yeah, player down already, but the plant will go down as well. We can see some of those rotations coming in. Reyna just lurking up there in halls, being patient as possible. But again, just time ticking away. We can see 2 working through the spawn, 3 coming through wood door here as well, as the Viper wall will go down. Nexka's able to find one now in a 4v4. Has that equalizer in hand. The sprays from the Spectre, it's hard to do significant damage from this distance, but Free says, I got the Outlaw, and I'll send him packing.
Them packing now down to just 2 on the defensive side, and another great takedown from Nexka opens the door, and it's a 4v1. Wyatt's gonna run right into the spray, and this round was built off of Nexka's back. Not only the 3K, but you talk about that hall walk. As soon as you take down the player that's looking over the entirety of the site, you see the panic. You see all 4 players have to try and go back and take them down, and during that time, they're just getting pelted and pelted and pelted with these outlaw shots. It is double digits here for Bishop Guilfoyle.
Yeah, and again, you know, now you're trying to buy into round 4, and you're still having trouble here. We do see a couple rifles, but mainly Spectres, some light armors. So, again, that economy is equally as important as the rest of the game here. And unfortunately, some of these teams have kind of fallen into this economic debt where they struggle to buy from round to round.
That economic struggle, but unfortunately is falling their way. 10 rounds now for Bishop Guilfoyle. They are 3 away from the dub, and Pasti again able to take down another at the start of these rounds. Winning the trade. That is going to be a trade back, though. Slayer is able to get that 1-for-1. The flank is coming long from Nyan Kiwi. We'll see if it gets there in time. It looks like a lot of space being given up towards the halls area, and it's a flank for flank. Nyan Kiwi, yes, will have the ability to take one down with the pistol, and now the collapse on the spike player could go huge, but they've lost all their backline, and Quill and Nico wins the 1v1, all down to the ISO, and the ultimate goes wide. Next go with a headshot to end the round.
Yeah, you know, and you got to wonder if maybe West Branch had saved a couple of those rounds there and they had that full rifle buy. I mean, that flank was beautiful. Unfortunately, a ghost against rifles makes it tough. Still able to get one nonetheless, but again, you have to wonder if they were able to save together and find that full buy of rifles and full armor. Had that round been, you know, a different outcome.
It could have been. Unfortunately, that is in the past. In the present, where we are right now, 4 rounds in a row for Bishop Guilfoyle and their squad. Into this next one, it is going to be what seems like the first full buy of the half for West Branch. And this defensive side needs to start picking up some rounds. Nyan Kiwi actually able to, you know, win the Viper duel, win the 1v1 there, and start out this round really great. The rotations are going to come through. Nexka, though, not able to look 2 directions at once. These really good duo plays are starting out the round 5v2.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Kiwi finds another. Quell is going to get the trade here finally and extinguish the flame that has been Kiwi this round. But yeah, I mean, if they can continue to piece these rounds together and build that momentum, but unfortunately, you don't want to get caught with your knife out as Booty Slayer finds Quell. Hugo, though, still working this outlaw and working it nicely. Here's the footsteps of Jet, though, just around the corner. The spot, the shot, it's not quite enough. And now the long reload spells trouble as West Branch tries to trudge their way back into this one. Llama? All right, I'm not sure if maybe we lost Llama there for a second. We'll work to get that ironed out. Nonetheless, 11-6 here as Bishop Guilfoyle just needs a couple more rounds to close it out. And right now, it does look like they are leaning toward that A side at the moment.
I think I'm back. Am I good now?
All right, we got Llama back in action just in time here for round, what is it, 18?
18 upon us. We're getting to the late rounds. I'd love to see an overtime if we could as quick as possible, but it's going to be that location revealed here on Body Shot Bandit. That slow orb is going to deny the entrance immediately in towards the A site. That delay on time, the Viper wall as well going to go on up. The shots through the little bit of vision disruption will be Nyan Kiwi opening up the round once again. Nyan Kiwi has been getting these first picks for the team, allowing them to flourish in the rounds to start. But the Booty Slayer from behind, it's 2 big picks to turn the round positively. Nyan Kiwi, Wyatt, both able to work their way back, but now a 2v2. The spike is in no man's land, though.
Yeah, way out there. They're definitely going to have to find a pick. Doing a good job of checking that flank. Unfortunately, can't win the battle as Nexka and the Phantom are putting in some work. 12-6. Now sitting at match point.
Match point 1 away for Bishop Guilfoyle, and all throughout the day today, they have been very efficient with their ultimates. They've got 5 of them to be efficient here if they want to hold on, if they want to send everything right now. You can see the money not the greatest. Slayer is going to have to go crazy on this operator. If you could get Body Shot Bandit, maybe a pick. If you could get that res, you could start to work back this round, but you need to play perfect from here on out. You cannot drop around.
Yeah, it's a tough task to ask here. 6 rounds in a row. Nexka has been spotted here as well. I think they both saw each other, so we can see the Booty Slayer just remaining patient, trying to check both angles. We know timing is everything in a game like this. Let's get that crosshair up just a little bit, but who else? It's Paste again, finding the pick. Here come the ults as well.
This is what we talked about. They're just going to overwhelm you. Nexka's got the Empress as well, and this round is pretty much already over. It's a 1v5 possibility, but Paste is able to close it out. That efficiency with ultimates, they just threw that all to the wayside. They said, we've got 5, let's pop 4. We can take so much space here at the end of this one, and it is going to be a dub out for them. I mean, big GG's, a really good and close game, you feel like, and every single player, you feel like, had their moments. Every single player was opening up rounds at different times. Just those economical issues sometimes getting West Branch down.
Yeah, you know, and Bishop Guilfoyle coming out here with 2 subs or 2 alternates in the mix as well. So still able to get the job done. Congratulations to them as they go up 2-0 on the season. But whew, that was an exciting first match, especially on Breeze.
It was a really good one. I mean, as much as I hate Breeze, it was a good, exciting one. But no. To be fair, I think it was kind of interesting that Paste, even on the Cypher, I think we were seeing non-duelist open up rounds. Whereas it's always nice where your duelist is popping off. Your duelist has that utility to get those picks. But when it's your Cypher, when it's your Sage, when it's these players that are building up their ultimates at the start of the round, it can really be so beneficial.
Yeah, and I think their comp just favored them a little more with that Cypher holding those flanks. You have those ability for those trips as well. And unfortunately, we didn't really get to see a lot of ISO's ult coming into play, finding those early picks as well. So I think maybe the comp favored Breeze a little bit better there as well for Bishop Guilfoyle. But nonetheless, an exciting first match. But we've got 2 more exciting D1 matches to come up, guys. We are going to take a short break, get those snacks, get those drinks, but don't go too far because when we come back, we have Boyertown taking on Greater Altoona.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 1 of the high school series Valorant. Division 1 and 2 in the week 1. We've got 5 clips to look over. My name is TJ, and we're going to jump straight into our number 5 clip right now. At number 5, we have Robotics Master from Forest Hills.
Double swing there makes that one an easy decision and an easy knockdown. Forest Hills once again is going to be able to draw first blood. Zeta comes in. The orbital strike going to be able to come in as well, knowing where the last couple of players.
Look at the team play on your screen here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the Sage and the Deadlock, the Sentinels, locking down B main, and the orbital strike from Robotics Master sealing the deal for Forest Hills. What an excellent play. Coming in at number 4, we have Wildman from Blacklick Valley with a nice Omen 3K flank.
For this maze situation that we've been put into, Wildman to be able to go around the corner. He has at least one that's hard picking him, but a paranoia that eventually is being just put away by some of these paint shells. It is a crisscross applesauce. They at least swing into one, now spin into another. They see a third, and right around the corner, Wildman going absolutely nuts.
Wildman making his way all the way through spawn, looking for the Sage of West Branch. Has to take a little bit of time to reload, but now working his way back. And we're going to see this one by one players of West Branch falling. There goes the Raze, then the Sage. Yoru teleporting, not ready for it in Wildman. An excellent 3K out of him to give the bonus round to Blacklick Valley. Coming in at number 3, we have Vale from Greater Altoona, who pulls out the Jet Knives and finds himself a clean ace to put Greater Altoona on match point.
Vale with the knife will find 2 more. I'm pretty sure Vale was able to see, knows exactly where they're at. They're trying to run.
Enemy
Oh,
remaining.
W turned around.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
Right out of my mouth, and Vale. Another.
All right, so as you can see, Sagara holding down the middle of the map here, but everybody's sitting in A main. The ultimate activated for Vale, and finding that high positioning is going to give him 2 free kills as he now gets very aggressive with that dash, spots the KO. We're trying to rotate through spawn, but also going to be taken down. Knows that Reyna had worked up mid earlier in the round, doubles back, and that'll be a beautiful ace out of Vale for Greater Altoona. Coming in at number 2, we have the same Greater Altoona team, but this time it's Pingu with a nice 6K ace on Ascent against Johnstown.
A little bit easier for CTC.
Shutting them
They'll
down.
make their way in. They'll be able to at least get the spike down here onto A. You can see they fully commit to site, got everybody on. Unfortunately, though, everyone's still over towards B, a little delayed on the rotation over the side of Greater Johnstown.
Yeah, I'm not sure what might have happened over there to keep them lurking for that long, but yeah, they were just kind of maybe anticipating it was still going for B. Now Ping up into heaven, finds one, the slow ping. The Ping gets a 4K. Got a Ferrari peek that, unfortunately. Now the flash comes in as well. Trip it through A main, and they're going to walk right by KJ here.
One enemy remaining.
I wonder if they're letting Pingu get all 6. There's the ace right.
Following Pingu into tree, he's already found the first kill onto Reyna outside of Market, but that will get resurrected by the Sage of Johnstown, putting things back in the advantage of the enemy team here. However, Pingu working his way up towards heaven, and he's going to tuck himself inside the smoke to hopefully not give his position away. But as you're going to see, the KO flash going to be perfectly timed as the smoke fades, but that's not going to stop Pingu from becoming an absolute turret up in heaven. Finds 3 players of Johnstown. His ultimate's going to be popped, which will detain the enemy team from using any of their own abilities, and with the kills coming through from the Sage of Johnstown, he's going to have an idea of where the last 2 players are. There's the ace on the screen, but looking for the 6th, and Tripit falls. The last kill coming through for the number 2 spot here. Pingu, an excellent job on Ascent. Coming in at the number 1 spot of this week's of Valorant's top 5 clips is Zaveru from Johnstown, who finds himself a nice ace on Reyna to try and bring Johnstown back into the match against Greater Altoona.
Notice on the lurk here. Zyver pushing around. No one's heard the sound yet.
One enemy remaining.
Get the 2-heady. Turns the corner with the 3rd. Gets that one as well. That's an 8.
Starting in the eyes of Vale, you're going to see Zaveru pick up 2 quick kills and then work his way around tree. You're going to see the ultimate popped by Philly Bucris on Phoenix. That's going to allow him to have a second life and gain some intel. In the meantime, if you take a look at the map in the top left, his team is stalling out for time as Zaveru flanking out the entire Greater Altoona squad. They're going to line up for him here as Pingu and Red Bull fall in Sagara, not able to react in time. That's a beautiful ace out of the Reyna of Johnstown as he takes our number 1 spot in week number 1. Thank you guys for all watching the top 5 Valorant clips of the week. As you saw, tons of aces, tons of team play coming out of these squads. On behalf of TEC, my name is TJ. Hope to see you guys this Monday at 3 o'clock as we continue the Valorant streak. Week number 2 coming up soon. Hope to see you guys there. Peace out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 1 of the high school series Valorant Division 1 and 2. In the week 1, we've got 5 clips to look over. My name is TJ, and we're going to jump straight into our number 5 clip right now. At number 5, we have Robotics Master from Forest Hills.
Double swing there makes that one an easy decision and an easy knockdown. Force Hills once again is going to be able to draw first blood. Zeta comes in. The orbital strike going to be able to come in as well. Knowing where the last couple of players.
Look at the team play on your screen here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the Sage and the Deadlock, the Sentinels locking down B main, and the orbital strike from Robotics Master sealing the deal for Forest Hills. What an excellent play. Coming in at number 4, we have Wildman from Blacklick Valley with a nice Omen 3K flank.
For this maze situation that we've been put into, Wildman to be able to go around the corner. He has at least one that's hard picking him, but a paranoia that eventually is being just put away by some of these paint shells. It is a crisscross applesauce. They at least swing into one. Now spin into another. They see a third, and right around the corner, Wildman going absolutely nuts.
Wildman making his way all the way through spawn, looking for the Sage of West Branch. Has to take a little bit of time to reload, but now working his way back. And we're going to see this one by one. Players of West Branch falling. There goes the Raze, then the Sage. Yoru teleporting, not ready for it in Wildman. An excellent 3K out of him to give the bonus round to Blacklick Valley. Coming in at number 3, we have Vale from Greater Altoona, who pulls out the Jet Knives and finds himself a clean ace to put Greater Altoona on match point.
Could be big enough to go head-to-head, but Vale with the knife will find 2 more.
I'm pretty sure Vale was able to see, knows exactly where they're at. They're trying to run.
enemy
Oh,
remaining.
W, turn around.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
Right out of my mouth, and Vale. Another.
Alright, so as you can see, Sagara holding down the middle of the map here, but everybody's sitting in A main. The ultimate activated for Vale, and finding that high positioning is going to give him 2 free kills as he now gets very aggressive with that dash, spots the KO. We're trying to rotate through spawn, but also going to be taken down. Knows that Reyna had worked up mid earlier in the round, doubles back, and that'll be a beautiful ace out of Vale for Greater Altoona. Coming in at number 2, we have the same Greater Altoona team, but this time it's Pingu with a nice 6K ace on Ascent against Johnstown.
A little bit easier for CTC.
Shutting them
They'll
down.
make their way in. They'll be able to at least get the spike down here onto A. You can see they fully commit to site, got everybody on. Unfortunately, though, everyone's still over towards B, a little delayed on the rotation over the side of Greater Johnstown.
Yeah, I'm not sure what might have happened over there to keep them lurking for that long, but yeah, they were kind of maybe anticipating it was still going for B. Now Ping up into heaven, finds one, the slow ping. The Ping gets a 4K. Got a Ferrari peek that, unfortunately. Now the flash comes in as well. Trip it through A main, and they're going to walk right by KJ here.
One enemy remaining.
I wonder if they're letting Pingu get all 6. There's the ace right.
Following Pingu into tree, he's already found the first kill onto Reyna outside of Market, but that will get resurrected by the Sage of Johnstown, putting things back in the advantage of the enemy team here. However, Pingu working his way up towards heaven, and he's going to tuck himself inside the smoke to hopefully not give his position away. But as you're going to see, the KO flash going to be perfectly timed as the smoke fades, but that's not going to stop Pingu from becoming an absolute turret up in heaven. Finds 3 players of Johnstown. His ultimate's going to be popped, which will detain the enemy team from using any of their own abilities, and with the kills coming through from the Sage of Johnstown, he's going to have an idea of where the last 2 players are. There's the ace on the screen, but looking for the 6th, and Tripit falls. The last kill coming through for the number 2 spot here. Pingu, an excellent job on Ascent. Coming in at the number 1 spot of this week's of Valorant's top 5 clips is Zaveru from Johnstown, who finds himself a nice ace on Reyna to try and bring Johnstown back into the match against Greater Altoona.
Notice on the lurk here. Zyver pushing around. No one's heard the sound yet.
One enemy remaining.
Get the 2-heady. Turns the corner with the 3rd. Gets that one as well. That's an ace.
Starting in the eyes of Vale, you're going to see Zaveru pick up 2 quick kills and then work his way around tree. You're going to see the ultimate popped by Philly Boocris on Phoenix. That's going to allow him to have a second life and gain some intel In the meantime, if you take a look at the map in the top left, his team is stalling out for time as Zaveru flanking out the entire Greater Altoona squad. They're going to line up for him here as Pingu and Red Bull fall in Sagara, not able to react in time. That's a beautiful ace out of the Reina of Johnstown as he takes our #1 spot in week #1. Thank you guys for all watching the top 5 Valorant clips of the week. As you saw, tons of aces, tons of team play coming out of these squads. On behalf of TEC, my name is TJ. Hope to see you guys this Monday at 3 o'clock as we continue the Valorant streak. Week #2 coming up soon. Hope to see you guys there. Peace out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 1 of the high school series Valorant. Division 1 and 2 in the week 1. We've got 5 clips to look over. My name is TJ, and we're going to jump straight into our number 5 clip right now. At number 5, we have Robotics Master from Forest Hills.
Double swing there makes that one an easy decision and an easy knockdown. Forest Hills once again is going to be able to draw first blood. Zeta comes in. The orbital strike going to be able to come in as well, knowing we're the last couple of players.
Look at the team play on your screen here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the Sage and the Deadlock, the Sentinels, locking down B main, and the orbital strike from Robotics Master sealing the deal for Forest Hills. What an excellent play.
We're back, still here at TEC for our high school series, week #3, featuring some Valorant action. 1 series of 3 done on the day, and now moving to the middle of the road, the middle of the series, and the second one here on the day. Stalama and Hot Sauce up here on the desk, and Hot Sauce, a first matchup that really did not disappoint, and now we've got another really good one too.
Yeah, I mean, the former champs, Greater Altoona, coming in here, of course, still undefeated this season as well. So we know how much skill they have, but Boyertown on the up and up as well. So should provide for an exciting match nonetheless. But we do have the starting lineups for both of these teams. So we'll take a quick look at Boyertown here. And I do believe we're starting off with some familiar faces as well. We've got Skalupa Dop, who we've seen on the Rocket League action as well. Oh, we're going to go over to GATC first, maybe.
1 of the high school series Valorant.
Oh, there we go.
Division 1 and 2.
All right, we're back on track nonetheless. But we got Skalupa Dop, we've got Major Kern. I don't even know how to say that name. Nanima, Smiling, and Cryptic Midas over there for the Boyertown Bears.
At number 5, we have Robotics Master.
I mean, you
from
can see
Forest
some
Hills.
stats here. Major Kern, 21 kills, 4 first bloods, and only 3 deaths throughout the season. So, you know, they're going to be feeling good. They're going to be bringing the heat towards this matchup. But I gotta say, they've got some good competition on the other side. They are called the GOATs for the reason.
Look at the team
They
play
are
on your
Greater
screen here, ladies and
Altoona,
gentlemen. We've got the
Clauser,
Sage and the
Bane,
Deadlock, the
Gus,
Sentinels,
Yoshi,
locking down B
no,
main, and the orbital
Crusher.
strike for Robotics Master.
Yeah, you know, we see
sealing the
Gus
deal
coming
for
up there
Forest
from
Hills.
the
What
D2
an
team
excellent
last
play.
season as well. So, but pretty much a full returning roster for the GOATs. And I mean, we've seen them dominate time and time again.
Coming in
They
at
play
number
so
4, we have
well
Wildman
together.
from
But
Blackwood
I mean, we
Valley
saw
with a
those
nice
stats for
Omen
Major as
3K
well,
play.
looking pretty dirty. So we'll see if Boyertown can get out here and maybe give the former champs a run for their money.
We'll have to see. Of course, as a reminder, still playing in a best of 1 here on Breeze in week #3. And we're already into agent select, so we'll see if there are some changes towards that first round, towards that first series of what we saw. It does look like insta-locks on those Viper and the Cypher. You talked about that in the last series, Hot Sauce, that Viper gives you so much extra utility, so many smokes to block off line of sight, but as well, you've also got the Cypher to give you so much information on those cameras.
Yeah, we see Kratzer not on Rays, and I had to take a big gasp over there. I don't think we've seen Kratzer really play much other than Rays, so I'm excited to see them on the Jet here today. Of course, Bane on the Reyna. On the other side of things, yeah, I mean, I'm loving these comps from both teams. We have Skaloop on that Sova, a lot of intel, Major, on the Cypher, who is very, very good on this map, and to be putting up all those kills, those first bloods, and only having 3 deaths as a Cypher sounds pretty dangerous to me.
Definitely does seem a little bit dangerous. This one's going to be a good one, I'm sure. We've got some real familiar names. We've got some real good players. And we've got a pistol round. How we usually and always start us out, Hot Sauce. I'll be interested to see. We saw in the last series that one team was able to take both of those pistol rounds. If you take both those pistol rounds, you have a really high % chance to actually win the entire map in general. So we'll see if it does fall that way. We'll see if the creativity of the offense can match that of the defenses.
Creativity, they're certainly going to need a lot of that, especially going up against Greater Altoona. I think we saw them be undefeated in that last season when getting the championship, and already starting this season off very, very well as well. Most of the pressure right now mounting toward the A side here in round number 1.
Let's see how it goes. Starting with a 3-2 split on the defender side. That Viper Wall is going to go on up, blocking some of that line of sight, but also giving them access. Ooh, a little bit of dash in, dash out. Got the fancy footwork. And Kratzer is going to use that fancy footwork to take the first pick of this game. Skalupadop towards the mid is going to be able to have this pincer play. The classic not able to do enough work against a Bane's Sheriff. Major Kern is here, though, and here to play for sure. A 3v2, and some of these smokes are going down. The spike is already down, and Major Kern is on a timer.
Yeah, Major Kern will spot the camera as well. Had a nice right click through the smoke, but in the end, it's Gus with a Sheriff who will rain down, and Greater Altoona takes that one, but only losing a couple members.
Losing a couple there. The attacking side rotating in very quickly and using those smokes towards the best of their advantage. It is going to be the round win, meaning they get to invest some money here in towards the second one. I think Major Kern and Co, though, did put a little bit of a damper on towards that economy. It wasn't a flawless round by any means, so headed off here into round number 2. We'll see if Greater Altoona can maybe switch it up or keep it the same.
Yeah, right now it looks like Greater Altoona looking to find that pressure over here on the B site this time, and it seems like when they decide to go somewhere, they really push with the fierceness. We see Jet already onto the site in a hurry. The spray is coming out. Kratzer able to find the first one with that Bulldog, and now the plant will go down with ease.
I really love this push. Just really fast, really aggressive, and making snap decisions from Greater Altoona. Now they're going to have some pressure coming through the spawn area, going through mid-top. It looks like some extra tripwires placed towards through elbow. Again, gun advantage is going to Greater Altoona, but also the shot advantage going their way. A flawless round here in round number 2 means all the weapons they invested in, they'll have for round number 3.
Yeah, they never seem to have a problem with that economy, either, always buying and saving together. And again, Greater Altoona just really displays phenomenal teamwork from the get-go. I'd love to hear those team comms, but again, they have well-drawn-out strategies. They seem to come prepared every single week ahead of time. They have that game plan ahead of time, and I think it's a little bit easier now because you know what map you're going to be playing, that week in advance or whatever. So Greater Altoona just always doing their homework, always coming prepared.
No pick ban, only dedicated maps, and Bane dedicated towards this operator. Only 3 Bulldogs, but that's going to be a rifle pickup here for Kratzer. Along with that operator, they already have pressure on towards this B site. Skalupadov is going to try and hold to the best they can, but the health advantage going over towards this Greater Altoona squad. They've got the plant already down so quick. The decision making, they overwhelm sites, and with their pressure, now they have a 4v3.
Yeah, the 4v3, Bane rocking that up already. I love the skin here as well. Just flexing a little bit. Both members into the back of the site. Again, Claw tucked into the corner as well, and Bane will find one more. Claw will step out as well with that Bulldog, and the last remaining member trying to find the flank will tuck back into elbow, and realistically is most likely just going to have to save this weapon or possibly play for some exit frags here.
Possibly will. Yoshio knows going to push their way find the pick at the end of the day, and it is 3 in a row to start us out for Greater Altoona. And this is not usually how things go, and it's not the greatest omen to start out this game. You feel like for Boyertown that they invested somewhat in towards that third round. They're unable to get those pickups. They will be on a significant loss bonus at the moment, but at the same time, you're going to have some light shields. You're going to have some non-full rifles going into this one, and you have to be very careful about this very quick decision-making of Greater Altoona. You can't just let them run you over. You need to use your utility to slow them down.
Yeah, I think this is where that advantage for the attacking side comes, is if you're able to push a site together as a team, you have the numbers, you have the advantage. Yes, you may lose one, but the trades are there. But when Kratzer is leading the way, you don't need to lose any. Finds the first pick. Yoshi taps the head and gets the bread as well. And once more, they assert their dominance here on the B site. The Viper's pit will come out as well, and that is just going to make it absolutely treacherous for the opposing team.
Enemy remaining.
Just to say there's a Viper's pit available on round number 4 is already so crazy. It is going to be down to just smiling the Viper on the other side, trying to play the 1v5. The Alphars are somewhat low on Cypher and Jet, but I don't really know if you can get this out. You only got the shotgun here. Clausera is going to make the round flawless, and they didn't even need that Viper's pit. But like I was saying, Hot Sauce, we both say that you love using those ultimates early in the round, so to get that out of the way, to already be back close towards another one here would be insane towards the end of the round.
Yeah, I mean, finding these ults, making sure you're using them, and using them at clutch key times as well that really benefit the team. I mean, we've seen Greater Altoona do it time and time again for these last few seasons, and I mean, they're the previous champs for a reason. They play incredibly well together. The team communication, the crosshair placement, you could really just go down the list, and you're pretty much checking the box on every box. So Greater Altoona playing very well together. Nearly get that first pick on Kratzer. If they can find a way to chop down Kratzer early, it would be incredibly beneficial to them.
See if they can get an early pick. It is going to be that Recon Bolt destroyed. The Jet dashing in once again. I feel like Kratzer has been doing such a good job at getting those openings. It's not only all these smokes, but it's the plant already going it down. The quick decision making once again here. Kratzer, Bane, everybody getting picks. Skalupadop will work their way forward, but is in the firing line of 4. Now it's just Cryptic Midas. Unfortunately, 26 HP. And I think at this point, Hotsas, you have to save.
Yeah, I mean, in a 4v1, it's just, there's really not much you can do. The spike is already down as well. Potentially you could play for an exit pick, but with 26 health again, it's just not there. And, you know, I think it's something that we don't really see as much in Valorant. In Counter-Strike, you'll save 2 weapons, even if it's a 2v3, you'll save those 2 rifles. In Valorant, we don't see as much as the saving. You do get a little bit more on that economy return, but, you know, Cryptic doing the smart thing here, saving that Vandal for the following round, but Greater Altoona now up 5-0, and it's just kind of a repeat offender thing for them. They tend to dominate here and dominate early.
That they do, and I know I'm gonna, at the cost of sounding like a broken record, man, their decision-making is just absolutely superior. They go quick, and they haven't shown a weak side either here in the attacking side. They've said, okay, we can go to B, we can go to A, we can go everywhere, we can even go through mid. It feels like nowhere is safe right now for the Boyertown defensive squad. The good news is they do have 2 really big ultimates. The Neural Theft, if you get that information, which I feel like they've been lacking, it can change around, along with that Hunter's Fury. If you can get some of these early picks, don't start the round in a deficit. You could start to pick up some here at the back start of the half.
Yeah, Kratz are already making their way onto site. We see that plant going down. And again, look at the utility here. They use it so well together as a cohesive unit. Stuffing out the spray, nearly finding the collateral, but Skalupadop will extinguish the flame that is Kratzer. Bane, though, back here, claw to the back of sight of Pyramid here near Crab as well. Just tapping heads. Enough said. Cryptic with the tray, but in the end, it's not enough. And Greater Altoona piecing these rounds together incredibly nicely.
6 rounds in a row unanswered here. Those 2 ultimates we talked about at the beginning of that last round still available going into round number 7. However, I want to talk about Bane real quick. I mean, 9-1 right now, but also once they bought this operator in round 3, they have not lost it any single round. It has been kept, it has been going, and just playing against that every single round is so hard, especially going into these half buys, going into these ecos. You're not going to have the shields or the weaponries to, try and hit a Vandal headshot at long range, and it already starts your round at a deficit, which is so tough to play into.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on their team only having one death as well, other than Kratzer, and I like to believe it's because he's on the Jet and not the Rays. But speaking of the devil, Kratzer here at mid will pop up top and drop one of the opponents now lurking through elbow. The rest of the crew coming in. We can see how they've kind of established here on B, but this Viper wall really allowing them to push up far here, Llama.
No charges left.
Getting some extra pressure. Kratzer is just built different, man. Another great headshot, another great entrance into the site. And this is all smoke. They push Kratzer forward. Bane is back in mid getting picks with this operator. And it's all for an A site plant. 2v4 here on the post plant. It is going to be 2 ultimates available for Boyertown, but at the same time, do you use this Hunter's Fury? Do you use the other ultimate? Yes, you do, but to no avail. Yoshi, oh no, able to catch them out from behind. And now it is just a 1v4. Asoba versus the world. Galupadop trying to get on in, but so many players are looking that way. It is the 7th round acquired for Greater Altoona.
Yeah, 7-0, showing you why they're undefeated, showing you why they're the repeat champions, returning here as well, and really just putting an absolute staple on the season thus far. And not many teams have given them trouble this season yet, but you know, they just play so well together. Much like you know, at the cost of sounding like a broken record, they just execute so well together. They use that utility to an absolute T cohesively, and they find entries onto these sites in a matter of seconds, and they are able to get in the backline, whether it's Jet or Raze, but able to find ways to get into that backline, create that disruption, that confusion.
Now we do have a dimensional drift going off. We'll see the Yoru going behind enemy lines, but Kratzer has already pushed up towards the box here, and the plant is going down. The quick decision making going down once again. The Viper spit from behind. Kratzer has to hold it down. Cryptic Midas, Glupidapo able to both get 2, 3 ultimates, but available though for Greater Altoona to try and pop this defense. Galupadop and Smiling both taken down, and Bane's op remains. That was a good play to get the dimensional drift from behind, but just didn't get enough value because Kratzer was almost already pushed into your offensive side.
Yeah, they're just allowed to get up so far. I'd like to see some of these Cypher trips maybe getting up a little closer, somewhere to where they can maybe find a trip, because right now they are just pushing on the site with ease, and they're doing a good job of finding these rotations, you know, 2 or 3 on a site, then 1 back the other way, then 2 the other way, then back to B, just really kind of consistently keeping them guessing. And now, as we see here, all this pressure mounting toward B. Meanwhile, only Omen is here alone.
1v5, not going to be the most fun scenario here. We'll see if KT is able to push this one away. It looks like Kratzer immediately there with the headshot. That big LMG not able to put in the work. And now Kratzer, I mean, they've got the neural theft on the other side. They have that little bit of information to make sure they can play this 5v3 the best possible way. Kratzer taken down to 1 through the decay, but it doesn't matter. Clawzera able to take down 1 more through the wall. Yoshio No is trying to hit those sprays. Major Kern will at least get 1 back with the Outlaw, but a really good answer. And using these ultimates towards the best of their effect, it's not even the fact that they're using the great utility. They're having this really glued together communication, but that neural theft, it's 1 ultimate to win you a 5v3.
Yeah, I mean, they're pushing on the site. They're finding the early picks. They're finding the late picks. And again, I mean, we see Bane, Gus, only 1 death apiece. Claw, Yoshi, only 2 deaths apiece. So again, they're winning these gun battles as well. And it goes back to those fundamentals, the crosshair placement, the things that they just do so well, and they seem to do naturally as well.
Creativity as well. We talked about you need it here on Breeze. You need it on the offensive side. Already in with the ultimate orb going to be captured. Kratzer is so far forward, but Cryptic Midas is having a round for themselves. 2 to start us out. 5v3. Only the Empress is the ultimate available on the other side, but Gus has worked their way into the backline. KT, Nemania is taken down once again. Bane still has this operator, but is only on 32 HP. Cypher v Cypher duel, and it looks like Gus is going to be taken down from behind, but the full lick takes them down, says no, it'll be me that is taking the pick. Gus still has to pull off a 1v3, though, a hard scenario for them to be in with 46 HP. Midas is actually taken out from a headshot. This is possibly an ace.
Yeah, Gus has the ability to, and Gus is one of those players who dominated in the Division 2 scene last year, has now stepped up into Division 1 as well, has an opportunity. Skalupadop, though, will come in and pop him on his head. Gus will fall to the wayside, And Boyertown will grab their first round. They didn't want to let Greater Altoona, skunk about here. So looking to grab their first round. We'll see if that can give them that momentum pushing forward. They do have to be careful of this hall, though. They have allowed Gus to push all the way up this hall and find that flank 2 or 3 rounds in a row now.
Can't allow Gus to get that much pressure. They also, importantly, use the Viper's Pit at the end of that round to help defend against the spike, make sure Gus wasn't able to take it. This could be a 9-3, though. This could be working your way back through this half. We always know the 9-3 curse is very real. We'll see only the Omen KT Mania once again trying to defend this B site, throwing out some smokes and throwing out actually some great utility. This is one of the rounds that Greater Altoona not going to be able to go super quick. You see the defensive collapsing. However, Kratzer, like always, opening up these rounds, gets the first blood. Scooped is going to have to back their way on up, and Bane still has this operator. You can take it down from them one round, but you cannot take down this team. They're 5v3, just walking straight on in.
Yeah, here they have made their way onto the B side, and as you had mentioned, I mean, Omen had a lot of really good utility to slow that push down. Unfortunately, not able to win the gun battle at mid. Smiling will find Bane, who has been hanging around forever. Gus, Major, Kratzer, all finding trades. It's all down to the Yoru, but Claw on that lurking flank finds them near spawn, and Greater Altoona takes another round.
In the half.
Double digits here for Greater Altoona and into the final round before the half. As we talked about in the previous series, if you've got ultimates, if you've got money, you better use them or you are going to lose them. Greater Altoona, one more round on this attacking side, and then they'll switch over to defense. Defending champions wanting to keep on defending their title, stay undefeated, and keep on working forward. However, we know Boyertown, they've got some great players. They've showed great things with Cryptic, Midas, and Skalupadop. If they use these 3 ultimates very quickly, which they're going to, that dimensional drift, possibly getting behind enemy lines and getting all that information, this could be a great round.
Yeah, Kratzer out front will be dropped by Skalupa. Domino 2K! No way! Skaloop putting in work. Yoshi will finally find a trade as they continue to keep him at bay here in A main. The spike is down as well. Gus lurking all the way through tube once more. About to go head-to-head and does. Finds a 2-piece of their own. The neural theft. Bane gets one as well. And Boyertown was popping off at the beginning of the round, but Greater Altoona doing Greater Altoona things.
Neural theft on the other side of the field. I mean, an opportunity for Yoshi to get this plant. The location is going to be revealed. Have to remove that one. Bane is just going to be watching, waiting with this operator. Bane's so persistent, and precision is the name of the game for them. We'll see with those cameras, a lot of bit of extra information gained, but this is just such a tough walk on in. Bane able to put the shot through the heart, and what was a 3v3 round, Gus, once again, you forewarned it, Hot Sauce. You should be a fortune teller, because man, Gus just walked through and took it.
Yeah, and I think that's, it's at that level of high school. It just sometimes it takes a little more time to realize things, and I think nobody's kind of called that out on that team. Someone needs to step up and say, hey, this Cypher's pushing up through tube nearly every time. Can we get a trap there or something of the sort? They have the utility to kind of slow those things down, or at least make them aware of when someone is on that lurk or that flank or that cheeky play. So again, just a little fundamental action, a little communication could go a long way. And, hopefully they'll find that on the VOD review. You learn to detect things, you grow as a team, and you continuously get better as the season goes on.
What it is all about here. Pistol round, though, is going to be a must-win for Boyertown if they want to continue in this half with any sort of momentum, any sort of economy. We'll see a little bit early. It is going to be a 3-2 split with the Reyna going mid, and actually a very quick rotation. You're seeing the Sova, the only player actually left in mid. Yoshi Ono able to shut down Cryptic Midas. Bane with the trade. These classics putting in work. A 5v2 transferred immediately. KT is going to be stuck up here on the high ground with a collapsing play coming their way. Maybe Viper can go get the plant while all this is happening, but Gus is able to shut him down before Yoshi falls. The little bit of trading damage from Smiling will go through, but the ghosts are picked up. A 5v1 and the shutdown flawless from Bane.
Yeah, I think, and this is one of the reasons that Breeze can be so hard, right? Is you have tube, you have A main, you have door, you have mid, and you have B. But there's if used right, it's much easier on defense than you would think. But you have to be able to win those 1v1 gun battles. You have to use that utility the way it's meant to be used. And I mean, when you're going 1v1 gun battles against Greater Altoona, it's easier said than done. That's for sure.
definitely is. I mean, it is just so tough. We've talked about time and time again. This is why they are the champions. This is why they've defended their title so many times. This is why every single year we are talking about them this exact same way. For Boyertown, maybe this round, maybe this force up if they can get a pick here or there. They've got no ultimates, unfortunately, to help them out. The utility is not going to be there. The shields aren't going to be there. And Yoshi, oh no, has an Odin awaiting these players. Location going to be revealed to start out the match. We'll see if Wazera can stay alive. Yes, they can. Yoshi, oh no, through the smoke from behind. Yoshi with a second and a 5v2. Spike is going to be picked up, but can they escape? Major Kern, Smiling, both taking some pressure. Smiling going to be trapped in a 1v1.
Defenders
And
win.
Kratzer wins it. Gus wins his 2. It is going to be all said and done. Greater Altoona winning the matchup.
Yeah, Greater Altoona, I mean, this is what they're used to doing. They continuously put on a clinic. You know, Boyertown had a couple nice rounds. Realistically, it probably should have been about 13-4, 13-5. Some rounds didn't go their way. But it's one of those things that you just have to go back to the drawing board. You played one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league. You played the returning champions as well. They're a phenomenal team. Kratzer had 8 first bloods again. So it's a tough to slow that team down. When they attack a site, they go 110%. But I mean, Skalupadop we saw come from Rocket League, now playing Valorant, 9-13, did very, very well today. Major Kern, we saw that player to watch, did struggle a little bit today, but I think it was kind of like a utility issue there. So, you know, if you're Boyertown, you had a tough game today. You hold your head high, you go back to the drawing board, you watch that VOD review, and you come out and you get that dub next week.
I think you learn a lot. I think we've said it time and time again. Not only do you get to go back and watch that VOD review, but all your mistakes are now there for you to see. You can go back and fix all those. It's still really early in the regular season. This isn't playoffs. This isn't where you're playing for a spot to go to the next round. You have so much time to continue that improvement. You can, you know, I saw the banter. I saw the players, you know, wanting to play with each other too. That's nice to see that, you know, they play with each other. They help each other learn. And for Kratzer, a player that I think we might not only see go to great heights at this level, but I would not be surprised if Kratzer gets signed to a collegiate team.
Yeah, and not just Kratzer. I mean, we saw Bane, I think, at the top of the list there for most kills, least deaths as well. The whole team is just incredibly, incredibly talented and a lot of fun to watch. So, yeah, I would not be surprised if we see many of those players go on to the collegiate scene or even further. But, you know, not many teams even win a round against Greater Altoona.
Sure.
So Boyertown able to take a round. But again, you just go back to the drawing board. At the end of the day, it's just pixels on a screen. So, you know, VOD review, a little coaching, it does go a long way. And you want to do that together as a team, not by yourself at home, but as a team, get together, whether it's in Discord and watch some of those VOD reviews and see what you could have done better or differently. But, you know, just another great game from Greater Altoona, excuse me.
A great game. The champions staying that way, seeming that they're going to contest for another title. But Hot Sauce, we are not done for the day. 2, I gotta say, fantastic matches. We've been provided with some very, very great Valorant, and we get one more. Actually, we're going off of Breeze. Yes, let's go. No more Breeze, but we're going to a rematch or a replay of a week number 1 match that had to get rescheduled.
Yeah, that's going to be on the Gentleman's Map Ascent. We've got Bishop Guilfoyle, who we saw a little bit earlier today, coming back for this makeup game for another staple of TEC, Winber, you know, Mr. Gary, Anjas, to name a few, Q Thief, some of the familiar names that we love. So we've got one more exciting Division 1 game coming up here on Ascent. With that being said, guys, we do need to take a short break to get the players loaded into the lobby, but don't go too far because when we come back, we got more exciting Valorant action.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 1 of the high school series Valorant. Division 1 and 2 in the week 1. We've got 5 clips to look over. My name is TJ, and we're going to jump straight into our number 5 clip right now. At number 5, we have Robotics Master from Forest Hills.
Double swing there makes that one an easy decision and an easy knockdown. Forest Hills once again is going to be able to draw first blood. Zeta comes in. The orbital strike going to be able to come in as well. Knowing where the last couple of players.
Look at the team play on your screen here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the Sage and the Deadlock, the Sentinels, locking down B main. and the orbital strike from Robotics Master sealing the deal for Forest Hills. What an excellent play. Coming in at number 4, we have Wildman from Blacklick Valley with a nice Omen 3K flank.
For this maze situation that we've been put into, Wildman will be able to go around the corner. He has at least one that's hard picking him, but a paranoia that eventually is being just put away by some of these paint shells. It is a crisscross applesauce. They at least swing into one, now swinging into another. They see a third, and right around the corner, Wildman going absolutely nuts.
Wildman making his way all the way through spawn, looking for the Sage of West Branch. Has to take a little bit of time to reload, but now working his way back. And we're going to see this one by one. Players of West Branch falling. There goes the Raze, then the Sage. Yoru teleporting, not ready for it in Wildman. An excellent 3K out of him to give the bonus round to Blacklick Valley. Coming in at number 3, we have Vale from Greater Altoona, who pulls out the Jet Knives and finds himself a clean ace to put Greater Altoona on match point.
Vale with the knife will find 2 more.
I'm pretty sure Vale was able to see, knows exactly where they're at. They're trying to run.
enemy
Oh,
remaining.
W turned around.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
Right out of my mouth, and Vale another.
All right, so as you can see, Sagara holding down the middle of the map here, but everybody's sitting in A main. The ultimate activated for Vale, and finding that high positioning is going to give him 2 free kills as he now gets very aggressive with that dash, spots the KO. We are trying to rotate through spawn, but also going to be taken down. Knows that Reyna had worked up mid earlier in the round, doubles back, and that'll be a beautiful ace out of Vale for Greater Altoona. Coming in at number 2, we have the same Greater Altoona team, but this time it's Pingu with a nice 6K ace on Ascent against Johnstown.
A little bit easier for CTC.
Shutting them
They'll
down.
make their way in. They'll be able to at least get the spike down here on the A. You can see they fully commit to site, got everybody on. Unfortunately, though, everyone's still over towards B, a little delayed on the rotation over to the side of Greater Johnstown.
Yeah, I'm not sure what might have happened over there to keep them lurking for that long, but yeah, they were kind of maybe anticipating it was still going for B, now ping up into heaven, finds one on the slow ping. The ping gets a 4K. Got a Ferrari peek that, unfortunately. Now the flash comes in as well. Trip it through A main, and they're going to walk right by KJ here.
One enemy remaining.
I wonder if they're letting Pingu get all 6. There's the ace right.
Following Pingu into tree, he's already found the first kill onto Reyna outside of Market, but that will get resurrected by the Sage of Johnstown, putting things back in the advantage of the enemy team here. However, Pingu working his way up towards heaven, and he's going to tuck himself inside the smoke to hopefully not give his position away. But as you're going to see, the KO flash going to be perfectly timed as the smoke fades, but that's not going to stop Pingu from becoming an absolute turret up in heaven. Finds 3 players of Johnstown. His ultimate's going to be popped, which will detain the enemy team from using any of their own abilities, and with the kills coming through from the Sage of Johnstown, he's going to have an idea of where the last 2 players are. There's the ace on the screen, but looking for the 6th, and Tripit falls. The last kill coming through for the number 2 spot here. Pingu, an excellent job on Ascent. Coming in at the number 1 spot of this week's of Valorant's top 5 clips is Zaveru from Johnstown, who finds himself a nice ace on Reyna to try and bring Johnstown back into the match against Greater Altoona.
Notice on the lurk here. Zyver pushing around. No one's heard the sound yet.
One enemy remaining.
Get the 2-heady. Turns the corner with the 3rd. Gets that one as well. That's an 8.
Starting in the eyes of Vale, you're going to see Zaveru pick up 2 quick kills and then work his way around tree. You're going to see the ultimate popped by Philly Bucris on Phoenix. That's going to allow him to have a second life and gain some intel. In the meantime, if you take a look at the map in the top left, his team is stalling out for time as Zaveru flanking out the entire Greater Altoona squad. They're going to line up for him here as Pingu and Red Bull fall in Sagara, not able to react in time. That's a beautiful ace out of the Reyna of Johnstown as he takes our number 1 spot in week number 1. Thank you guys for all watching the top 5 Valorant clips of the week. As you saw
And we are back, still here at the TEC High School Series for our week number 3 of action. 2 fantastic Valorant series down and 1 more fantastic one to go. Llama Natsas up here still calling all of the action, and we are moving maps. No more Breeze. Thankfully, we are going back to Ascent.
Yeah, the gentleman's map, as we like to call it. But we'll see Bishop Guilfoyle in their double header today. Was able to grab their first dub of the day, the first match of the stream. So going up against definitely a tough team, Winber. We've seen them dominate, throughout the regular season in these past few seasons. I believe they were the runner-up last year as well. And Anjas, Mr. Gary, Q Thief, all names that we know and love very much on that Winber side. So we'll see if they can get it done here on Ascent. Going to be no easy task, though. We've seen Bishop Guilfoyle. We saw him get that dub with 2 subs or 2 alternates. So now back to that starting roster here, I believe. We'll see as we get into that character select screen.
Starting roster here, locked on in, and we got 5 out of 5 locked for both sides. We already are through agent select, so is going to be Bishop Guilfoyle starting on the defensive side with our Winber squad starting on the offense. Ascent, a very fun map for sure, but a little bit of those differences of composition. The big thing that is matching is that Brim, is that Phoenix. So some really good smokes, and you talked about the Phoenix ultimate as well in the previous series, can have a lot of really good value that run it back. You pretty much get a full free second life, but a little bit different agents for the rest of the composition.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we don't see a Killjoy or at least a Sova on that attacking side there for Winber, but obviously, we've seen them be a staple of TEC for a long time. They're comfortable with their composition and how they play together, but typically we see at least a Killjoy or a Sova, if not both, on Ascent. It's kind of become the new meta. On the other side of things, though, they have that KJ for the flank, but not as many flashes. Yes, you have the Phoenix, but you have Gecko as well, but that can be destroyed. It does give out the intel. KO on the other side of things, something similar. So I like both of these comps, even though they are slightly different. But again, you have Mr. Gary on that Reyna. If Mr. Gary continues to do Mr. Gary things, that should certainly succeed there on that Reyna.
Definitely should. I mean, we've seen Mr. Gary. We've talked about them there. Their Reyna performance is absolutely stellar, but both these teams running kind of that double duelist composition where it's going to be exciting to see kind of the Mr. Gary, Gummy Shark, the Reyna Phoenix versus the Kadith Eclipse Phoenix and Jet over on the other side of the field. I think, like you pointed out, though, a little bit of that difference with the Killjoy is you have a lot of just the turret utility. You have a lot of damage, but you don't have a lot of those like smokes or like the cage that you get with Cypher. So we'll have to see if they can take areas with the Brimstone, if they can block off some of the mid to try and get some extra positioning. But more importantly, I think it's going to be exciting to see the creativity of these double duelist compositions.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. I know a lot of times Killjoys like to set up on that B site. They can potentially hold down either site, but Killjoy just has a very multiple nice setups on that B site. So it'll be interesting to see if Quell will opt to go over there. Again, we saw them play in map number 1. I think roughly 3 of the 5 members we saw in map number 1. So maybe already a little warm as well. We'll see if that does benefit them here as we head into our final match of the day. Division 1, Bishop Guilfoyle taking on Winber.
I also think it is important to note that this is a rematch from the first week, or not a rematch, a pushed back match from week number 1, but Winber has yet to play a match. They have been untested. Yes, they are the Winber of old. They have all these crazy players, but this is their first played match. They're coming into this one 0-0 to start. Like you said, on the other side of the field, you have a team that's been tested, that is 2-0, that is playing with their possible full roster, so it's going to be exciting going here into the pistol round.
Yeah, we've seen Anjas and Mr. Gary have some action in Overwatch, but you're absolutely right. Nothing in Valorant just yet. Mr. Gary will be spotted up top. Kadith will get back to safety here as the pressure continues to mount on the A site. Gummy got the Phoenix on Phoenix. Violent action here, and now Kadith in some trouble. We see the utility coming in, trying to buy some time, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here.
Pressure is good from the defensive side. They have a lot of really good angles, but they're only able to get 2. Bree able to get another, and Quell able to get 1 more. Q Thief just trading back and forth. So many bodies dropping as that spike does drop as well. It's going to be Anjas and Q Thief, though, 2v1. That turret actually getting no value. It is going to recognize that those players are towards the right side. And Anjas, we've talked about them before. 3K to start themselves off on the Brim.
Yeah, beautiful triple on the brim nonetheless, which can be a little harder to do. You are kind of that utility master, finding those smokes, making sure to stay alive so your team can benefit from your utility. Not really ever getting that entry, but finding 3 in round 1 is absolutely huge. We'll see the Bulldog come out. We'll see the Spectres as well. And it does look like Bishop Guilfoyle is going to, opt to go with the smart decision here and find the eco, find that save, and look to buy next round.
That's the shorty. That is the one big standout for me. We'll see if that close range shotgun can get some damage done. Looks like once again, gonna be an A-walk already into main. 5 players at a time. The pincer play is gonna come from behind. We'll see if Priya JKS is able to get there in time. However, there is a tripwire from behind. Nexka is able to take one down with the classic, but it is just again, bodies dropping to the floor. 3v2, a relatively low HP bar for Gummy Shark, and they will pay the price. The shorty able to put in work. Now an awkward 2v2 turned into a 2v1.
Yeah, Brim did spot the trap as well, so he's going to look to go back the other direction, but the Stampede, the footsteps, they could be running into disaster. Luckily for them, they make the smart decision. Always good to keep the guns out. You never want to be running with that knife out if you don't have the intel. Could spell disaster. Brim trying to look back to see if they're lurking there, but they've made that smart decision. They've gone back to the A side here, and they should be able to find the plant with ease. The switch will go down, and they'll do just that.
Interested to see what angle they play, though. They're putting some more utility, putting a trapwire up towards that high ground. Q Thief is low, 35 HP. That can be bursted down very quickly if 3JKS is able to take it down. They're going to know the location now, trying to take down that door, and pushing them towards the high ground is going to run into that tripwire if they continue that path. They continuing to go on up, and bullets continuing to fly towards that door. The 2v1 play here has to be played very slow. The tripwire should find him some smokes, though, to cut down that entry. Tripwire in denial. Beautiful utility play as Q Thief gets the spray through the ground. Did we lose hot sauce?
And can you hear me now? All right.
Yes.
All right. Never mind the technical difficulties, but yeah, it's just a tough position to be in. I was talking about the paper-thin walls, the paper-thin floors of Valorant, even, able to spray through with the Spectre there. Great positioning by Q Thief. The trip found them, able to find that spray, and again, they just play very, very well together.
Played well together, but also credit to Bishop Guilfoyle. They took down 3 players in that round. That means the money not going to be feeling the greatest here. However, we know Wimber, they can go quick. It's going to be the run it back. Gummy Shark is going to be taken down to start off the round. All of these little bit of mollies dropped on in for Gummy Shark. Of course, you can heal yourself up with your own fire, but there's just so much pressure coming through. The rotation is already there. Kadeth from behind will try and deny this outward rotation. The rifle connects for a headshot. The Cloudburst as well to make sure their denial of line of sight is there for the exit. And JKS is just sitting here. There's no way for them to get out. This pincer play from Bishop Guilfoyle is crushing the offense.
Ooh, a nice flash by Gummy. QT picks up one as well. Quill on the trade, and Gummy fires from downtown. Pops the head and gets the bread. Able to collect the spike, and just like that, back to a 2v2. Bishop Guilfoyle was playing this round so nicely, but now they have a chance to bring it back. Gummy Shark has 3K, and it's going to be some Phoenix on Phoenix. Mind you, Bishop Guilfoyle only has half health, but Eclipse somehow does it.
Timing is everything, as you said, and it is going to be a nice final kill there from Eclipse. Around that, you had better weaponry, you had the pincer play, but man, Gummy Shark just popped off there from downtown, like you mentioned. Those shots flying through mid to get a couple more picks than you would have liked to see from Bishop Guilfoyle. Now that money scenario we talked about, it's not great for either team, honestly. For both teams, it's possibly some light shields and another scrappy round that could really decide the economy swing to start out this map.
Yeah, I mean, Bishop Guilfoyle needed to win that round. They had the rifle advantage, but at the same time, Winber almost wins the round because they took away so many guns. But oh my Lanta! Eclipse with the swing, and what a shot from the hip. Dips back to safety as well, and just a beautiful, beautiful control of the spray.
And That's a tough one to lose as well. That's Mr. Gary. That's not only a player that we've seen before open up rounds, but also has a lot of utility on that Reyna to, reset. We'll see if it is going to be the ability to cut down from behind. Kadeth sitting in spawn, a little bit safe here. Could have so many kills. The patient play, the Sheriff. Will they check this corner? Do they check behind them? They're all running. The footsteps are there. The Sheriff, one, and maybe a second, maybe a third.
Let's go!
Kadeth is insane. Maybe a one of fourth. Q-Thief is gonna deny it, but this round is all pretty much done and dusted. Free JKS with the Outlaw will make them in jail.
Trigger discipline is one of the hardest things about the game, and the younger you are, I feel like the harder it is. What a great display by Kadeth. Beautiful trigger discipline, finding a triple kill off of the Sheriff as well. I'm standing up and giving him a golf clap right now because that was absolutely phenomenal play.
And for Kadeth, it's back-to-back rounds. I mean, back-to-back huge flanking plays that have gotten them this tied-up map so far. Of course, as we head into this next one, we talked about the shaky economy. For Winber, it is going to have to be 4 Sheriffs, 4 Light Shields, and maybe that dream. Don't you dare forget about that dream, though.
Can never forget about the dream, baby. It's always there. Right now, though, it looks like they are in a 2-3 split. Really just trying to make some noise over here near that B site to see if they can bite an early rotation. It does look like the members are lingering that way, but they still have Kadeth up top, who's been on absolute fire. Only 24 health, but they're going to catch on just in the iPad. Kadeth gets another. Somebody stop him.
Kadeth is having a game for themselves, 24 HP, but this Vandal just putting in work. They have knowledge of where the spike is. I'm excited to see how the retake tries to come through, but Eclipse hasn't been missing shots either. The little buddy's going out, trying to take them down, but it is Nexka taking people down. It is the flawless round. Free JKS taking down one more at the end of it. That was an economical advantage, but at the same time, really crisp shots there from Kadeth.
Yeah, I mean, the whole crew is playing very nicely. We saw Eclipse swing out at mid there and find a beautiful shot on with the Phantom over near tiles as well. So everybody absolutely hitting the shots right now. And we talked about how Mr. Gary has been a staple. He dominates time and time again. Unfortunately, 0-5 at the moment. So take a look at that, though, because it may be 0-5 right now. Mr. Gary is sure to pop off here soon and most likely change that number.
Is very true. I will say, though, that's a thing that doesn't usually happen, and Mr. Gary going to change that immediately. Headshot to start us out. Kadeth, who has been the clutch gene wearer, you feel like, for this squad. Bishop Guilfoyle is able to be taken down to start this round. That ultimate, those knives can be denied. Unjust as well, denying Nexka. Again, 2 of these players in back-to-back rounds that have been doing very good, but this mid collapse is going through. Once again, Eclipse on this side angle will have first contact, possibly with Anjaz. But as they go forward, they have such a good angle to just push on in, but the look towards the right, the gun scene first, and now Eclipse in a great position to keep pushing.
Ooh, Q-Thief will find the trade to bring it back to a 2v2 as well. And we saw that initial pick from Mr. Gary. Unfortunately, it's not that often that you have 2 stationed in mid. So Pre able to come away with a huge 3K here. And Bishop Guilfoyle playing with this full roster is looking incredibly dangerous.
Are looking good, looking dangerous. I think we also have to mention, it is a 2-site map, a little bit more defender favored. And, Winber's been trying things. They've been trying to go aggressive. They've been doing certain things, but when they don't have the economy, really tough to fight some of these longer angles, especially down through mid, down through this courtyard area. But we'll have to see this next round. They've got 3 big ultimates. I feel like if Mr. Gary can get a pop-off kill on this Marshall, all of a sudden you can pop that Empress and change the round.
Absolutely. We'll see if they can do just that. Eclipse already out mid here, looking for some intel, looking for the flash, has to get into tiles, found some trouble at mid, but is already through here, and Q-Thief has to be careful. What a shot from Q-Thief, and this could turn things around. The neural theft, but Kadeth with the op will find one and dash away.
Kadeth is going to be the one to be able to pick up that rifle drop from Eclipse, but that operator is such a problem still. We'll see if they can get it out of the hands. JKS able to take down Q Thief now. Throughout this courtyard, we'll see it's going to be the knives popped on through as well. Kadeth trying to go in, but it's just a flood through towards Nexka, but who is flooding who? Got the water insurance here. Mr. Gary with the Sheriff will be able to take down a second, but the knives put the eco round in the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a crazy fast round on both sides of things. Unfortunately, we saw Q Thief find that initial pick, but then blindly pressing through the smoke. And it's just so hard to press through a smoke with no flash to help you out. 9 times out of 10, you're going to find yourself at a big disadvantage there. So maybe just needing to wait an extra second or two to allow that smoke to dissipate. Yes, Brim is very good at smoking, but he only has 3 smokes. Typically, they use a couple of them early, so there is plenty of time to allow those smokes to dissipate and find another way to work around.
Doesn't have that residual one just like Elvin, but it is going to be very fast here with the rifles with the full shields going towards the B site. KJ is here to try and shut things down in the boathouse, but the rest of the reinforcements are a little bit slow to get there. The alarm button is going to be triggered, seeing so many players. Quell is able to take down 2, and here is where the collapse goes good. Quell gets a 3rd and just holds their patience. Somehow, some way, Mr. Gary's here. 18 HP, that's all you got for Quell, and you don't got enough to fight Mr. Gary 3K.
And Mr. Gary was 0-4 a moment ago, now 5-7. I knew it. Mr. Gary cannot stay quiet for long. The belly was a rumbling and grumbling. My man was hungry, and he came to eat. A beautiful round for Winber as they look to climb back in this one and not let things get out of hand. But I love where Quell was sitting. I play KJ on this map a lot. I sit in that exact same spot a lot. Quell with a huge 3K. Unfortunately, Mr. Gary was just really feeling that round.
And that's what the base of the whole round is on. Is if Quell can sit there and hold down the defense against 5 players as the rotate comes through, they do, but Mr. Gary is just so crazy. That 3K giving them that round, putting their half at a greater position here, but towards this cubby towards tree area, there is so much reinforcements. Through this door, there's 2 players sitting. The collapse is already starting to come through from Kadeth, and if they don't check left, it could be an absolute smackdown here. The flashes coming through from Eclipse to try and shut things down. However, after the smoke settles, still a 3v2.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking like things were getting a little sloppier out of hand, but you got to check the angles. Kadeth finds one, dashes away, looking for more. Mr. Gary has to deal with enemies on both sides, and Nexka will clutch it up, now 6-3.
A great pincer play. I really feel like the movement from Bishop Guilfoyle so fluid throughout this map. They're able to take a lot of really good positions, shut down that ability to push into the site, and as they delay it, those flanks time and time again from Kadeth have struck so true. This next round, it's going to be an interesting one economy-wise. It's going to be 2 hero rifles for Bucky and Mr. Gary. I feel like those are the 2 players you would want them on, but not the most shields to fight back with.
Yeah, and Kadeth once again up here early. Will get caught off guard, taking out the camera. Mr. Gary feeling good about that one. The pressure will continue. Has to be careful. Nexo flirting around in the smoke here. The door will go down. Pre-JKS finds the double. Gary on the trade. A bit of back and forth now in a 3v3.
And Dust is the only one without a rifle here going in towards this attacking side. Mr. Gary going to take down the run it back. First life of the Phoenix. The defender Killjoy lockdown is going to try and lock out this offense, but the lockdown is destroyed, and Mr. Gary's got an Empress. The 3K, the ace possibility is there. Eclipse tries to flash out, but an ace for Mr. Gary. He was quiet, but he is hungry.
The ace of spades, Mr. Gary, from 0-4 to 12-8. And if there's one thing I love, it's being right. Mr. Gary coming back tenfold and really bringing this one back here. Q Thief as well, Gummy Shark, all popping off for the crew to keep him in it. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, we saw Kadeth really slapping the majority of the first half here, but pre-JKS has really stepped it up as well on the brim. A lot of quality key shots, great crosshair placement from pre-JKS.
Great job here. That eco round pays off Mr. Gary, the ultimate in those 2 hero rifles. Buy them into this next one. Nexka has to be very careful. But who has to be careful for who? Nexka able to hold their patience. Gummy Shark does get the trade 4v4. After that trade goes in, do they check the right side? Gummy Shark, unfortunately, had to run it back and did trade a little bit of that first ultimate for the little bit of info, but Eclipse is in such a good spot. So hard to deal with. They have to step forward to try and do it. And while all of this is happening, who other than Kadith on the back line? The Jet is looking to once again sink their teeth into this round. And the spike is so far forward that it's so tough for Winber to finish this one off.
Yeah, I mean, they really just have to step out into the danger zone. Q-Thief, not much health as well, so they need to try and find a pick. But Jet, I think, has spotted KO there as well and will continue to slowly push up just a few more feet before Jet comes behind both of them. And Q-Thief, again, only 30 health. Kadith, one to the other, both headshots. And just like that, they'll wrap up the round.
Relatively good start to the round, but Eclipse's positioning has just been really, really good. Eclipse and Nexka have been able to delay these rounds, allow the reinforcements to come through, and Kadith was just slow walking all the way around. They have that ability to get those flanks, 3 successful ones to get them 3 rounds here in this half. 7-4 so far, and we've got 1 more round to end off this half, but I'm looking at one big ultimate, and it's Mr. Gary back with that Empress.
Mr. Gary back with that Empress and, you know, hot and fresh off an ace just a couple rounds ago as well. A lot of intel given here, and KJ typically has been the only one on the site. They did a good job at stacking it. Now they have to be careful, able to destroy the swarm grenade as well. At least one of them, they pressure on the blind, will hit both. KJ still tucked into the back of the site. Kadith will find one. Gummy does get the trade, however, and now the camera goes up. Q-Thief looking for the intel. Will spot one. The dart goes out. Now the plant finally from Anjas. The tripwire is triggered. Gummy finds another. And there is just a plethora of action being handed out here.
Yeah, so much action going down. 4v3 as Kadith finishes off another. Importantly, Bucky only has a sheriff, but Q-Thief with that rifle. Kadith with the knives. 1v1. Nextica has to see the rifle first. And they do. A nice trade of the round. A retake of the B site. He's going to send the little buddy off to finish off the round. 8-4 is how this first half is going to end in favor of the Bishop Guilfoyle defense.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, you know, we saw kind of a tough start from Winber. Yeah, they got those first couple rounds, but really kind of struggling to find those frags or win those gun battles, as they certainly turned it around there. And now they'll have their chance, their opportunity on the defensive side of things. We know this typically does favor the defensive side here, but again, this pistol round is going to be really crucial for them. If they can win this pistol round, it gives them a solid fighting chance. But if they don't win the pistol round, it's going to maybe start to sweat a little bit.
A tough one if you don't win this pistol. 8-4, so no 9-3 curse, but you are relatively close. And again, like we said, this is a little bit more that defensive-sided map. If you're able to hold the sights down with the KO, with the Cypher, if you can guess correctly on those tripwires, it can be so easy of a defensive half. I'm really looking at Kadith, though. 15-8, has the Sheriff, has that ability to, you know, just shut down some rounds, and has been so far. We're going to see their entrance through A main.
The entrance coming through A main. They have to deal with some trips here as well. And we see next just getting the buddy back, looking for a potential another flash. A lot of utility being thrown here, though, and it does look like they might opt to rotate out.
To get that rotate on through, going back towards mid and possibly back through spawn to conceal some of those running footsteps. So some noise being made right now by Kadith and their Gecko right beside them in Nexka. Just looks like it is a little bit of smoke, making some damage, forcing the Phoenix to rotate over, but smartly, Bucky has not rotated. They are still a KO. They are still trying to hold down the sight line, and there's a lot of mid control, including Catwalk coming through from QP and Anjas. Nexka is able to be taken down first, and a huge takedown from Eclipse onto Anjas to get a little bit more pressure into the market area, but Bucky has held down for long enough. The plant might be able to go down, but the collapse could come in very quickly.
Yeah, we see Jet on that long rotation as well, now into B main, and it could work out in their favor, almost behind the KO here. Unfortunately, they will break the market, trying to get visual, but Bucky cheating forward. Bucky's going to be able to find one. That's a big pick from the side, though. Kadith will get not only Mr. Gary, but Bucky, and Kadith has just been absolutely on fire. What a triple kill, Kadith. Lights out.
Crisp potato chips there. Nice shots from Kadith. And gotta say, the rotations once again, these delayed flank plays, the pistol round is going to go their way. You talked about it. You lose this pistol, it's going to be a tougher half for Winbur to try and bounce on back. This next round, you're going to have to save. I know you're only a couple rounds away from losing this map, but you need to preserve that money. You have a couple rounds to spare. You have the defensive side to try and work it back, and that was a really close round, so we'll see what they can do in this one.
Now we see Kadith up top with that outlaw, and of course, you know, with the economy not being there, they're not even buying light armor, but it wouldn't matter because that outlaw so devastating even for those body shots. But again, patience being displayed by Bishop Guilfoyle even on the offense here, which I do absolutely love to see.
Patience is a virtue, as they say. We'll see what Eclipse can do with his patience down towards the mid-courtyard, working their way up. We'll see. It is going to be that first contact. Q-Thief with the classic. Able to take down Nexka. Weapon isn't going to be immediately recoverable here, so still with the pistol, but a player advantage. If you can play off these trades, Anjas working within their own smoke to see if they can get one of those sideward angles. As soon as you walk through this archway, you're going to be facing that pressure. A little bit of catwalk space taken, a little bit of default space taken all around. Kadith is going to see the shoulder there, grabbing some extra information, but only 40 seconds left to go.
Only 40 seconds left to go, and who else? Kadith with the outlaw. There's the sheriff, but the judge and jury have spoken. Anjas finds it with a classic quell. Kadith both finding big picks here. Now in a 3v2, they have the player advantage once more, and Kadith has gained control of the B site, and this could spell trouble for Winbur.
There does Kadith go. Shutting him down is going to be a triple. Kadith has a possibility to go 4 out of 5 in this round. The plant will go down late, but Kadith will not go down. They'll only be taking people down. They get the 4th, they get the round, they get double digits. But for an eco round, or Winbur, taking down 2 isn't too bad to try and start this comeback.
Yeah, the comeback, it's going to have to start now. They can't afford to give up many rounds, and realistically, they need to get at least 4 rounds in a row before they even think about giving up one. They'll have the rifles. They have the weapon advantage here as well. We'll see if they can put it to use.
Rifles have got to be used here. Round number 15. We'll see if those ultimates can be built up as well. Kadith, 7 out of 8. Really preparing to get those knives on board. All those tripwires going to be stacked up towards this B-site entrance. It looks like a little bit of extra pressure from Eclipse getting back towards mid. There are 2 defensive players make that 3. Going to the spawn. Saw the shoulder. Seeing Gummy. Eclipse is in such a good spot to continue the flash away, but those paper-thin walls you mentioned, putting Eclipse down towards 11. The healing from the Phoenix is going to be really nice to get themselves hopefully back up to 100. And with all of this mid-market control, this is so tough for the defenders to try and retake this.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough to retake. The utility there is there as well. But Mr. Gary, then Bucky, then Gary, everybody getting headshots, and Gary with a 3K all day, looking to bring this one back.
Especially you're talking about Gary on the Reyna, on a 6 ultimate orb agent. Is 5 out of 6 already, 4 rounds into this one. We'll have to see as well if the rest of the team can keep on popping off. Mr. Gary, like we talked about, started slow, but is really starting to find their groove. Extra pressure once again on the B site with all those tripwires and extra utility from the Cypher. I feel like it is going to be an A hit logically from the Bishop Guilfoyle squad, but there is a Phoenix and a Reyna kind of sitting here guarding it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw that in the previous round as well, kind of staying away from B because Killjoy had it on the lockdown. There's the run it back. Will be taken out by Mr. Gary. Gets free JKS through the box as well, and a big pickup here. And with that, it'll definitely slow that push down a bit. We can see the rotation coming in. Once more, though, Kadith lurking around in the depths of the shadows, waiting to find that crucial pick from behind.
Long-range brim smokes are really getting so much value, but Mr. Gary just having an absolute half for themselves. Kadeth, like you said, did stick around for a little bit and might be able to swing Mr. Gary to take them down. Unsure on where things are going to go just yet. It looks like Phoenix going to put up that wall, but Bucky has been so good in holding down this B site every single time, getting a pick. However, the pick is going to go the other way. Kadeth able to take down Mr. Gary on that long waiting play, and Kadeth is not done. That flash out and away is not going to be there just yet for Phoenix. We'll see Gummy Shark go for the 1v1 duel, take it, win it, and now in a 4v2.
Yeah, Nexka has spotted him from down below. The shells will ring out from the Spectre, now tucked into hell. Nexka all alone. Yanjas will drop down with a classic to give him the intel, but Nexka finds two, has to pop the reload. 87 health is plenty of health. There's the camera. They drop together, and that's how you do it. A 2v1. Bucky will clutch it up, and Winber leaks to just keep adding rounds to the tally and see if they can trudge their way back into this one.
Back here, another great round for them. I think Mr. Gary, even if he falls there, it's okay. You have the reinforcements. You drop a couple kills there towards the end. Not what you want exactly for your economy, but some good rounds in a row. The defense having its way so far here on our final map of the day for the TEC week number 3. At the same time, I mean, still you have in the back of your head, Hot Sauce, the Bishop Guilfoyle. They might be down. They might be on an eco round here, but you look at the number of rounds they have. They still only need 3 to win this map.
Yeah, and they've done some crazy things on their eco rounds as well. So, again, you have to give them the respect that they deserve. You have to play to the top of your game. The spray and nearly gets a collateral. But Kadeth, again, with the blades, will find one. Now pressuring near the spawn and is tucked into the corner. Tough position to be in here. Now with the swing, has spotted two. Takes a ton of damage and will have to backpedal off. Has to be careful with the molly as well.
Molly burning down, but not burning the health bar. Nexka able to get the plant, and most importantly, they got a rifle off of that first pick, and those knives are still active. 3 available, and Eclipse is gonna get one through the wall. That could be another rifle pickup, but I don't think they have the pressure in the market to get it. Eclipse, the one with the rifle, the pickup on the pick on the eco. 2 more. Mr. Gary, that Empress available. Bucky has that ultimate as well. We'll see if they want to work their way in. Mr. Gary starts it off, but Eclipse will end it. That first knife pick transitions them into a 4K.
Yeah, absolutely huge round there for Bishop Guilfoyle. When we talk about it, like on paper, right? Those are the rounds that you have to win. When you have that rifle advantage, you have to play smart. You have to play together as a team. But unfortunately, it did not go their way. Bishop Guilfoyle upsetting them off of that scrappy little eco round coming off of the ult from Jet. And with that, they find themselves just 1 point away from match point.
Towards that match point threshold. I will say they did use their only ult in that previous round. There is a big ultimate or they could take for Aquila Nico and get that lockdown up and available. The 4 ultimates now up for Winber. We'll have to see how they can use them. Some really good area control. They have the Phoenix, they have the Reynas as well if they want to try and just pressure on forward, maybe go for some trading picks. It looks like nobody falling on first contact just yet, but these Brim Smokes, once again, Kadeth works their way up towards the top of this archway using the Jet mobility. It doesn't get them a pick, and Mr. Gary is putting so much pressure down the tree area. The push forward, the flash on through, but Eclipse is just running into pressure time and time again. Has to use some of their own utility. Maybe they can get a plant on down because they have the site.
Yeah, it seems like Winber is giving up a lot of that mid control. They do find a pick early, but pre-JKS is going to be able to nullify Mr. Gary as well. Anjas on the trade, but Quell will trade it right back. Kadeth gets another, and this could spell trouble here for Winber as Kadeth's still up now, but gets taken out by Bucky, and a beautiful play. Gummy looking to change it around now in a 2v1. They know he's in hell, and Bucky somehow does it. What a crazy round for Winber.
Huge retake. Bucky, though, we talked about them. They've just been able to hold down sites, winning the gun duels, and Gummy Shark, a really good usage of that Phoenix ultimate, not only to get that first pick, but to get the information. We saw the double drop last time. We saw how it worked out for them. So to not give up a player there at the end is absolutely huge. Unfortunately, they did give over some kills towards some members on the other side that were close towards that ultimate. So that ultimate advantage, Hot Sauce, we were talking about in the previous round is not going to be there in this round.
Yeah, I mean, they have Eclipse with the run it back. If they are able to get the plant down, they have pre-JKS to open up the skies and keep that plant a nice post-plant positioning. Obviously, Quell can help them take advantage of that site with the KJ ult as well. So they have the ults on deck. They are ready to flex. There's 3 on the other side of things as well and a near full buy. So this is going to be an incredibly crucial round for both teams as the economy has dwindled away for both of them.
This is such a big round. I mean, for Winber, this could be the start to maybe guaranteeing yourself a little bit of overtime, getting yourself towards this game. The run it back is going to start us off. For Eclipse, not even getting any value though, is just trying to get the clears, trying to flash on through. The run it back is there, and Unjust will have the shooting to match, but Kadith is able to take down the opposing Phoenix before anything else. There's one player, I think, dead locked inside of this KJ ult, and it is Mr. Gary. Eclipse able to take down one more. One player detained, and that is Mr. Gary down towards this low ground. Unfortunately, you're not able to fight through that ultimate. Eclipse cleans it up, and that run it back just got so much space. Along with Quell's ultimate, they took the entirety of the site.
Yeah, and that's what I was worried about. They had those key ults to help them take the site, and then if they needed to use it, which they didn't, they had the Brim to open up the skies for that post plant. But now we have the ults on the other side of things as well. The do or die situation here for Winber. Their backs against the wall. The economy not there. Some stingers, a phantom, an outlaw, and a couple sheriffs. We'll see if they can do the unthinkable.
See if they can do it. Mr. Gary on that SMG, the rest of the team on some of those sheriffs. We've seen them do it here before. Presence is going to be detected off of that knife and delay some of those abilities to walk their way on through. Really good Brim smokes once again, and a molly as well to deny some extra entrance in towards this A site. It is going to be the spike though, just sitting on A. It's Nexco waiting for this opportunity to work their way forward, and with Kadith's kill now, they should have full access to this A site.
Yeah, they are sprinting on in a hurry, and Gecko says, I don't even need the wingman for this. Nexco finds the plant, the ult comes in. Can they get out to safety in time? They do, with 10 health. Eclipse finds one. Gummy on the trade, Gummy another, and Quell will trade it back. Now in a 2v3, we see the swarm grenades going out. They have the player advantage. Mr. Gary lurking outside of the smoke here, has to be careful. Has the flash to help him push onto site. Bucky up top as well, and with that, the swarm grenades will be activated. We see Kadith coming in from above as well on that flank, and Kadith will find Bucky. Mr. Gary in a 3v1, a tough position to be in. Kadith, not much health up above. Here comes the flash, the weapon swap, able to find one. Dissipates to safety here as well. The blind re-peeking. Shots are ringing out, not much time. And Mr. Gary and Winber will fall to the wayside. A tough first game of the season for them as they weren't able to be here the first couple weeks. But, you know, as we talk about it, Llama, if there's ever a good time to lose, it's always at the beginning of the season. So, you know, it's a tough one to take, but you take it on the chin and you come back stronger next week. Hats off to Bishop Guilfoyle and their display from Kadith, 30-12. And Eclipse was only 17-15, but he had so many key clutch moments throughout that series.
This was massive, and I think you look at Kadith, you see those 6 first bloods, you see the 30 kills, and you know Kadith just having an absolute day for themselves. I think not only great for Bishop Guilfoyle to win this one, but they won earlier, so they are sitting currently at 3-0. I would be surprised if they're not first or second on the overall leaderboard, and starting off their season with some really good wins. Like you said, they've had a lot of different key players, because it also seems like at times you talk about their clutch factors in Kadith, in Eclipse, and even pre-JKS who are finding nice things. You also talk about Nexca and Quell, who had some fantastic ultimates, some fantastic just stall and say, no, Winber, you're not pushing forward. We're waiting for the rest of the team to try and take this fight. And it was such a good series at the end of the day, a 13-7, but you know what? Just not enough rounds on that attacking side for Winber.
Yeah, I mean, Kadith was just an absolute juggernaut there. We you know, I kind of flash back to that round where it was a solid eco round based off the back of Kadith's ult and those blades, and finding that first big pick, collecting the weapon, and what a round that Winber should have won. You know, they turned around and stole from Winber, which really honestly could have changed the outcome of that game had Winber taken that round. So, you know, Kadith was a huge MVP out there today. But again, both teams played incredibly well. You know, we know Winber has a plethora of talent, so I imagine we'll see them incredibly hungry next week. But it's great to see more of these schools being added, like Bishop Guilfoyle, and coming in here with such confidence and playing so well together.
It really is. And it's like you said, Winber is not going to be one to take this one laying down. They're definitely going to go back to the drawing board, improve for everything they can, and still kept it really, really close. They will be a team that you got to keep your eye on. Always got to keep an eye on them, especially in playoffs as well. They can pull off some crazy upsets. But unfortunately, the last series of the day, that was meaning we got no more Valorant for the rest of Monday. But we do have some other esports going on throughout the week here at the TEC series. Tomorrow, Rocket League week number 3 of the high school series. Wednesday, we've got Overwatch for week number 3 of the high school series. And Thursday, we get to go down towards middle school Rocket League and their week number 2.
Yeah, always great to see all the new schools and now the middle school as well. But as Llama said, unfortunately, that's all for us today. We hope to see you back here at 2:45 tomorrow as well. But we do want to remind you to follow all the socials. We got those top 5 plays. You never know when you might see yourself or your friend or maybe your kid on there as well. So be sure to follow the socials. Don't forget about the other Twitch streams that we have going on. There's other channels as well. So there may still be games going on. But guys, we do want to take a moment to thank all of you at home watching, the parents, the students, the teachers. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you, as well as everybody behind the scenes here at TEC and ManCan for running our stream here today. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 2:45.